Just got more interesting, distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy, Austin Ward. My good buddy, Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Thursday edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 10 o'clock. We open up that mailbag. It is full again this week. 10:15, we'll hit you with a little higher or lower. Everything moved up a little bit because of two-a-days. Paul Finebaum. We got a lot to talk about with Paul. He's got us overrated. He's sick of Big Ten people. We got a lot to get into with him. So we'll do that at 10:30, 11 o'clock. Two-a-days shifts to the AFC. So we will do the AFC West on two-a-days on coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. All right, look, I saw the trailer for this thing last night. And I think if you were to ask anyone of a certain age, and if that certain age was I'm a man, I'm 40, or I'm a woman, I'm 40, and I love sports at that time. If you were to say, if you could see all of the warts, all of the good, total behind-the-scenes documentary on a sports team in our lifetime, you'd be hard-pressed. Like, if everybody picked four, one of them would be the 90s Cowboys. That would be one of them. The stories that came out of the 90s Cowboys are the stuff of legend. Not just the Jerry Jones, Jimmy dynamic. My God, they had Michael Irvin. They had Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders on the same team. They were on the same team. Just peacocking around Dallas, for God's sakes. Can you imagine what that was like? So they're the answer to it. So there is going to be a documentary on the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to drop on Netflix on Tuesday. So I saw the trailer for this thing last night. My buddy Andrew Siciliano went to the premiere of it on Monday, and he said that whatever you think it is, it's better. It's better than that. So it's full behind the scenes. Michael Irvin and all of his stuff and everything that comes with it. Now, I'm sure it paints Jerry in a good light because Jerry is behind this thing, and I'm sure he wants his story told. And as we had the guest on yesterday, there are two Jerry Joneses. There's Jerry Jones, the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, who does kind of a medium job. But then there's Jerry Jones, the owner, who does an exemplary job, and that's how he got into the Hall of Fame. But they are the answer to, if you could get, or one of the answers to, if you were to get an no holds barred, all warts, all good, all of it documentary, the 90s Cowboys would probably be on everybody's list if you're of a certain age. They just checked every single box. Very similar to what we saw with Jordan and the Bulls. So many different layers to the story. I suppose if you got a true behind the scenes, it'd be impossible to do now on the early 2000s Lakers. There'd be a lot of that too with the Shaq-Kobe dynamic. In order to have something that really clicks and checks a bunch of boxes, you have to have that star power and you have to have the winning. You have to have both of those things. And I was thinking about it. If you were to pick anything in Central Ohio sports that you would like to see a true documentary on, what would be your answer to that question? And the one that came to me first, and I don't think it's the correct answer, but the thing that came to me first was I would be fascinated. I mean, I was there, so it makes it a little different. Not the story of the 14 national championship. That's a pretty remarkable season. It would start with winning in Alabama, down in the Sugar Bowl. It would start there. And then the majority of it would be told over that offseason of into 15. I
was about to say the opening scene of that is Ezekiel Elliott running through the heart of the South.
That's right. That's
where you start it.
With Paul's call.
That's it. That's where it starts. And then what I want to know is, what was it like getting those guys to go to the ESPYs? I want to know what it was like as Urban was trying to deal with the fact that maybe he was going to have no quarterbacks. Because all of a sudden, I want to be in on the conversation where it became known that Braxton Miller wasn't going to be back playing quarterback. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember this. There was a couple of weeks there where we thought, I had people from Florida State calling me saying, Braxton's on campus. Braxton's going to be a Seminole quarterback. Like, what? I don't know if he can throw. I don't know who knows what's going on. Cardell had a press conference up in Cleveland where we all assumed he was going to announce that he's going pro, and then decided to come back to Ohio State. What led to that? And then all of the obligation Urban coached with. That one jumps out as, I would be fascinated to know all of that. And I know, obviously, the guys on that team have been I think Joshua, I know Tyvis, some of those guys have been interested in maybe trying to do that and tell that story. But it's there to be told, and it's a good one. But I don't think it's the right answer. I think one of my favorite ones that they did in the 30 for 30 series was The Best That Never Was. And it was a story of a 5-star recruit from Mississippi, best player in the country, who went to Oklahoma, and for various reasons, it hit, it didn't, mostly it didn't, and you get kind of this whole story on it. I really think if you picked up, and not all Buckeye fans would love this story, but I think the real truth on it would be fascinating. Some of it would be painful, but there's a lot of joy too. Terrelle Pryor, senior year of high school, the best that was, sort of. Because his tenure had everything that you'd look for if you're building one of these. Every single thing. Every high point, every low point, every turn, every drama. Inevitably, it leads to the dismissal of Tress, who's now the lieutenant governor. It's just ripe with angles and storylines. And if you got the real truth on it, it would be a fascinating look into everything that happened there. There's others here, though, too. You go back to Art Schleister, and, there's a lot of different stories that can be told here over this time. But the two from my time here, those two jumped out. I think 14 into 15 would be fascinating, and I think the story of Terrelle Pryor, the greatest high school football recruit of a certain time, and everything that happened with it would be fascinating. The guy had 1,000 yards receiving in the NFL. He was shot. All of those things happened.
The most entertaining thing to get an honest Tressel on that. Whew. That's what I think I want more than anything now that we have this conversation out loud on the air. Like an honest sports discussion on an honest Jim Tressel about Terrelle Pryor. Will you get it? No. But the whole saga with what he was going to commit on one day, and
we were all there.
The entirety of the Central Ohio media was out there.
We were
said,
all there.
No, I'll do it later.
We all went over there. It's on signing day. Need a little more time. Okay. So, finished out his basketball season.
Do you think he needed a little bit more time?
How did he say it? The University of Ohio State is, I think, what he said. Yeah. Yeah. It was wild. There's so many layers to it. The team he walked into with Threes and those guys, I can't remember if they started number 1 in the country, but I remember they were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. It was him and Beckman and Beanie, I think, on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I think they may have started the year number 1 in the country that year. Then they went out to USC, and Beanie got hurt, and the rest was history.
I think an honest accounting of the Maurice Clarett freshman year would be...
We did get that.
Kind of. Like an honest one.
You got the truth as they remember it.
Yeah. You got the rosier truth.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with all of this, right? Like a surefire, true, like nothing hidden, all the details out there, right? Mm-hmm. Like I think a documentary on the end of Tressel and Tattoo Gate and all of that. Like that's the first thing that came to mind. If you could get true honesty out of everyone, like statute of limitations are gone, nobody's getting in trouble, we're just being, honest about everything, I think that would be great.
One on what's happening between Ohio State winning in January to where we are now going into next season. I think we're going to look back on this time next year and be like, Dan, that 2025 offseason, regular season was pretty fascinating.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities, a bunch of differences too. But it's all waiting there for you. But anyway, the Jerry one is great. And speaking of that, we'll play this for you coming up next. Jerry basically admitted what we've all been saying about how he operates his team and his operation. He just said it out loud. He's at the point where he's past caring. We'll have that for you, among other things, coming up next. We're off and running on a Thursday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Save big money on your kitchen project at Menards. We carry everything you need to turn your kitchen dreams into reality. Renovate your space with new cabinets from Cardell. They're ready to install and come in a variety of styles and finishes. Visit our kitchen showrooms in-store or go to Menards.com for free estimates today. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer for all of our hot deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on eggs. Right now, 18-count cartons of large grade A Kroger brand eggs are on sale for just $3.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's Wilson from That Other Window Place, and this is the Secrets of Pella podcast. Secrets of Pella. Where we try to expose Pella Windows secrets. Okay, Leslie from Pella, these magical disappearing screens you speak of, what exactly is Pella hiding?
Well, hiding the screens is the whole point.
All right, cut. The screen just disappears? There's no magic involved? Okay.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
The dog days are the best days to save at Conklin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% financing on any new Kia EV, Sportage, or Sorrento, or 1.9% on a new 25 Seltos or K5. Visit CoglinKia.com.
Conklin has the car for you.
Based on January to December 2024 retail sales at all 4 locations. 0% for 48 months equals $20.83 per 1,000 finance. 1.9% for 48 months equals $21.65 per 1,000 finance. All manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Dealer financing required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron? Yeah, Jerry? Do you know what I like best about our plumbers? Tell me. No matter how difficult, no matter how messy, no matter what it takes, they just dive right in and fix it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
They dive right in.
Yes, they dive right in.
We've got scuba diving plumbers.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You know they don't literally dive in, right?
Well, of course not. Not yet, anyway. The pipes are too small.
Get Eco.
ECO.
They won't be able to literally dive in until I finish inventing my eco miniaturizing ray.
But until then, our plumbers will just keep on figuratively diving right in.
Yes, that would be best.
Jerry, do you know what I like best about our plumbers?
Tell me.
They're so good at their job, they make it look easy.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Scuba diving plumbers, genius electricians, and better than average HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at The Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news. We fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on The Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Proper tree care is an investment that can lead to increased personal enjoyment. Prevent winter tree damage by scheduling winter tree work now. Winter can be tough on trees. Heavy snow, ice, and wind can cause serious damage. Don't wait until it's too late. Now is the perfect time to schedule winter tree work. Pruning during the dormant season keeps your trees healthy and helps prevent costly storm damage. Visit trees4ohio.org to find a qualified arborist near you. That's trees4ohio.org. Let's keep your trees strong all winter long.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine for today, and the humidity not as intense, although it still will be noticeable. We'll see afternoon highs getting into the upper 80s, and then for tonight, mostly clear skies overnight with our lows down into the 60s. We end the work week on Friday with temperatures right around 90 degrees and plenty of sunshine to go around, so don't forget the sunscreen. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
1, 2, 3. Here in The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
This one from Hunter. I'm not a soccer guy, but I'd love to see a full documentary around saving of the crew from almost gone to MLS champs. Yeah, that one's there. That one's there. That's a pretty good layup. I do think if you could ever get the real truth on how the LeBron James return to Cleveland happened, like if that was told without wine and gold colored glasses, just the real truth, and you were able to get LeBron and Dan, like how that happened with all of the vitriol between the two of them.
Bo, I know I did this one, and this is a bad job out of me for not have seen this one yet, but the Bishop Sycamore one.
Yes.
How truthful do we think that is? And does it like go into the start of them when they were first Christians of faith and then they renamed to Bishop Sycamore and recruiting kids in Walmart parking lots and all of that?
Yeah, it does all of that. Okay. It's incredible. Yeah.
I need to go see that one.
That was one where that one I found that was going that score was going viral. Who were they playing? Were they playing like Maslin or McKinley or
IMG Academy, I thought.
They were playing IMG. Like, wasn't Carnell Tate on that
Tate
team?
was throwing an OHIO in the end zone.
But it was up in Canton, right? Wasn't it at McKinley? At Fawcett?
It might have been. I'm not sure.
I think they were playing at Fawcett. Yeah, it was. That's right. I think it was like around Hall of... Do I have this? In my head, I have them playing at Fawcett up in Canton.
It could have been like a thing to start off the season, kick off the season.
Like an ESPN special. And someone was like, IMG versus... Because I get jacked up for high school football this time of year. I want to know who's good and all of those things. And the idea that IMG was playing, in the state, and I want to say it was on ESPN.
It was on ESPN.
It was for sure on ESPN.
Yeah. But then somebody asked me, like, did you cover... I can't remember. I don't remember all of this in my head. Somebody asked me, well, did you cover them when you were in Columbus? And I'm like, no. And we covered all of them on First and 10. Like we covered every game that mattered the whole time I was down when I was at Channel 10 covering all those games. And so I texted Dom. I'm like, who is this? He's like, I don't know. And I went, oh God, we're in trouble.
And if I remember right, they popped up. I think it was like 2018. So they hadn't been around long. And like I said, when they first started, the first year or two they played, their name wasn't Bishop Sycamore. They were Christians of Faith Academy.
Okay.
And then it switched to Bishop Sycamore.
When did you start hearing about their scores like on the Friday night?
So, because I don't think they really played a bunch of teams around here. They kind of played teams from all over. Like, we didn't really pay attention to them. Like, we heard some whispers about it and how this doesn't seem right. They're going up.
Yeah.
The one kid got approached in a Walmart parking lot and all of this. So you knew, like, from the beginning, this is kind of shady, everything that you heard about it.
Yes. You haven't seen it?
I have not seen it. That's a bad job out of me.
Yeah. It delivers. It delivers in a very, very big way. It was Marcus Dupree was the best that never was from Mississippi, who ended up at Oklahoma and was in all sorts of stuff. That was back in the day where you couldn't pay, but a lot of teams did anyway. And he was kind of embroiled in all of that. What got us talking about this is what's going to drop next week, which is the Dallas Cowboys. It's a several-part series on the Cowboys about Jerry Jones and the purchase. And the gross majority of the time, from what I've been told, is going to be spent on the 90s Cowboys. You don't blame him, because that's really the apex of it all, and they haven't done anything in 30 years. But if you get the real truth on it, it's going to be incredible. And from the looks of it, you are. Looks like you're getting all of it behind the scenes with a lot of the Michael Irvin stuff too. So all of that fits in, which got us thinking about something we've wondered for the long time. We stumbled into this last year in football season, and we got into the topic and we just said, do we think Jerry Jones cares about winning? And I think what got us talking about it was they don't really spend aggressively in free agency. These holdouts, these hold-ins, they always last throughout camp. How could that possibly be the best way? And we kind of came to the conclusion that what Jerry really likes is being Jerry Jones, and he really likes money and making his team more valuable year after year after year, and he's done that. You had that great stat yesterday, Bake, where you said that for every dollar he spent to buy the team at $150 million, it's now worth $87. That does a pretty good job of telling you a little bit about what he's done with that operation. But he finally admitted to it in a wide-ranging interview yesterday. He admitted to the soap opera aspect and playing a part of it.
I do believe if we're not being looked at, then I'll do my part to get us looked at. The beautiful thing for networks or, if you will, streaming companies is that the NFL is a 365-day-a-year interest factor. A lot of programming, you have to spend as much to make it, to promote it, as you do to make it. The Cowboys are a soap opera 365 days.
The streaming will begin
when it gets slow, I'll start.
Please take your seats.
And so it's wonderful to have the great athletes, have the great players. But there's something more there. There's sizzle, there's emotion, and if you will, there's controversy. That controversy is good stuff in terms of keeping and having people's attention.
He just said it out loud.
Could they turn down the Destiny's Child?
A party is that what it was? I'm sure it was some sort of a, meet and greet for corporate partners and such for Jarrah, is my guess. But he's past the point of caring. He's done caring. He's just saying it out loud. And the crazy thing is he's not going to win again. He's not. The last time they even played for one was 30 seasons ago. So that tells you a little bit about all of that. But it is cool, I do think, and I do think that doc's going to be unbelievable. I do think that all of the storytelling of that is going to be pretty exceptional. And you need to see Bishop Sycamore, Bake. Especially, you're going to see all your buddies, everybody you know is in it. Yeah, it's right in your wheelhouse. It's everybody you knows it. Did HBO do that?
I think that was an HBO. It's probably why I haven't seen it, because I've never had HBO. So, and if you hypothetically have a device, you can't go back and stream. So,
well, I'll tell you what. I can work a password for you to see it, because I do think you would enjoy it to a pretty big degree, just to see how stupefying it all is. But there are some good ones out there. Speaking of stupefying, this happened during our show yesterday. We were wondering what was going on. The Browns were practicing a joint practice over in Philly, and Shedeur Sanders was getting no reps, no work. It didn't work with the 7-on-7, didn't work on the 11-on-11. And you're going, geez, did something happen? Is this some sort of punitive thing? Is it discipline? Is he hurt? What is the reason here? Why is he not getting any snaps? In fact, Tyler Huntley got snaps in the works that they did yesterday. And he said, well, you don't need to have him getting any snaps at this point. You know exactly who he is. And then towards the end of practice, the Browns team reporter, Kelsey Russo, reported that Shedeur Sanders suffered an oblique strain in practice and would not do anything in Wednesday's practice and will not practice Thursday, and now seems unlikely. Kevin Stefanski is going to speak in the next 10 minutes or so. It seems very unlikely that he will play this week in the preseason game on Saturday, which begs the question, so if he isn't going to, who is? My God, we are middle of August, and they have two quarterbacks with hamstring issues and now a quarterback with an oblique. They have Huntley there. Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old, somehow is the only one that's healthy. So my hunch is if Dylan Gabriel, who had a full practice with the 11s yesterday, if Dylan Gabriel can get through today's joint practice unscathed, they'll essentially give him the game on Saturday, the same way they gave Shedeur the game in Carolina, which that feels like a win for me.
Good. Yeah. Saw that yesterday with the news about Shedeur's oblique, and then there was video of him, gingerly holding the oblique, holding his side after he threw, and it's like, okay, put him on ice for Saturday, and Dylan Gabriel, you get the opportunity, and you get the entire game. And I hope he looks just as good as Shedeur did last week. It'll be a very different ask, because it'll be a lot of rolling out, a lot of bootlegs, a lot of moving the pocket for him, because he's vertically challenged.
Well, one thing that we've seen throughout camp is what he struggles with is he throws, a lot of times it ends up being high over the middle. And what you have to do with that in that instance with his height situation is you have to be incredibly anticipatory in your throwing. You're throwing to spots because you can't see it. Now, to be fair, a lot of quarterbacks have to throw to spots because they can't see it. Like if you're 6'1" and you're under center, you're throwing to a spot. Because as soon as a 6'8" tackle stands up, it's hard to see through it. So you're not going to have a clear view. So a lot of people have to do that. But for him, it's even a little bit more of that. So I think their plan's going to be fascinating. And Kevin will address the media over in Philadelphia here in the next couple of minutes and maybe have a little bit of clearer picture. But it's a tough blow for sure with the loss of Shedeur for who knows how long. Coming up in 2 minutes, we are inching closer to that Texas kickoff date. We'll be here before we know it. A couple more Buckeyes losing their black stripes as we inch closer to the Longhorns. That's coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Keep your summer fun going at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now through September 2nd, get 1.99 APR financing on a powerful new 25 Tundra or $3,000 customer cash. Excludes TRD Pro. Or you can lease a new well-equipped 25 Tundra SR Crew Max for just $419 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a Thursday edition of the program. Buckeyes and Longhorns inching closer towards each other. Ohio State starting to remove some black stripes. We see these every couple of days. Bo Atkinson, the defensive end, losing his. Offensive tackle Phillip Daniels losing his as well. Atkinson, I'm surprised it took this long. To me, it feels like he's someone who's going to be counted on quite a bit and will be featured a lot. You forget what the standard is on that, if it's what leads to that, but I think there's a bunch of factors. Go ahead, Reese.
Do you wonder, and I did this yesterday, like they just forgot that Bo and Phillip Daniels had their black stripes because it was an Urban thing. And the further we get away from Urban Meyer being the head coach at Ohio State, I wonder if they're watching practice, paying attention, Ryan Day, paying attention to the quarterbacks, paying attention to the offensive line itself, isn't really looking at their helmets. Then all of a sudden he looks over and he sees Bo with a black stripe. The hell is it? Oh, we got to figure that out.
I thought of that earlier this week. I think it was Monday. C.J. Donaldson lost his, and I know that Devin Sanchez had lost his earlier, and maybe another freshman or two. And I'm like, well, that doesn't seem very good that C.J. Donaldson, who's expected to have a workload share in the backfield, hasn't lost his black stripe yet. But I think it's something where maybe the standard for a transfer is a little higher. right? Like, yeah, you got to earn your spot onto this roster because we've been hearing so much about Bo Atkinson and Phillip Daniels the past few weeks, especially Phillip Daniels. And for both of them to lose them then, it's like maybe there's something here like, hey, you really got to earn your spot onto this Buckeye roster.
Yeah, I remember it took Will a while last year too, guys. It was we were well into spring, and he still had it on. It's like, well, wait a second. They went and got him to be the starting quarterback. I'm pretty sure that he won't have that on there. So, look, this is going to be here before you know it, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be very, very fun. The build-up for this is starting. We're going to be broadcasting that Friday live, and then all day Saturday, and getting you set for it. It is one of those ones that you just don't ever see. In fact, you've never seen it before, number 1 versus number 2, and we'll see where it's going. My phone is blowing up because of the Shedeur Sanders stuff.
What did you do?
My God, like I'm getting a bill. Like, okay, he's out a little while. So Kevin Stefanski's having a press conference over
Is Stefanski texting you?
Yeah. It's Andrew Berry. Could be Mr. Haslam.
That's
too.
good. I mean, obviously, get the pulse of the people right now.
Direct line to Jimmy and D.
I think that'd be important to have.
So the line from Stefanski is we're going to put him down for a little bit here. Now, to be fair, put him down is something you do to animals on the farm.
Kind of harsh, isn't it? Jeez.
I threaten Odie with that all the time. I'm like, buddy, if you don't stop, we'll put you down.
Puke in the car one more time.
Trade you for a gerbil, bud.
That was always a long walk. Trade you for a gerbil.
That could be a promo.
Much less work.
It really is. It would be such a lifestyle change.
Yeah. We have that. It's probably once every 3 or 4 days. We're like, why did we get this dog? What are we doing with this guy? Like, I love him to death. The kids could not possibly care less. After all of the talk that they were going to be some great stewards of the dog, and I'll walk him, Dad. I'll pick up his poop, Dad. I'll feed him, Dad. Now, if you ask one of my boys to feed Buddy Garrity, which that entire task amounts to scoop and a half into receptacle, done. That's the task. The hardest thing is the walk downstairs to do it. That's the most labor-intensive thing you're going to do. If you ask them to do that, it is akin to asking them to do an ultra marathon. Oh God. Can't Bootsy do it? Can't Beamsy do it? I just did it. I just fed him yesterday. Well, yeah, he needs to be fed. That's the way it works.
Has to eat a couple times a day.
I mean, we got to do it. That's how it works. You want him not fed? Can't Beamsy do it? Can't NBC do it? He never does it. Just do it. Nothing. So despite all their talk, if you're on the fence about getting a dog, just understand it's yours, not the kids. It's your dog.
For sure.
You and your wife, you and your partner, you're raising it. The kids are worthless. Absolutely worthless on that front.
So I know we're talking about this, right? But I'm looking on Twitter, and it's Stefanski not ready to name Dillon Gabriel as the starter. Wants to see how he and his hamstring get through today's practice. Shedeur is unlikely to play. Pickett remains limited. Flacco won't play. So does this mean like we're getting Tyler Huntley for the whole game on Saturday? Like, I know we've been talking about this, and I know we hear it, but just like seeing that in writing, it's like, oh my gosh.
So here's what I think. This is let's get to the real truth of this. Shedeur Sanders is going to be out for a little while, so he probably won't do anything the rest of this week. He's obviously not going to play the game on Saturday. So by the time you get through this week, then that's kind of it. He goes well on the back burner at that point with this thing. So the other thing that's happening is this is now another day, if I'm reading this right, where Kenny Pickett will not participate in 11 on 11. So we're now into the 4th week of him being hampered or hindered by the hamstring. So I think it's safe to say Joe Flacco is going to start the opener, because the only thing that would have kept it from being Pickett is if he performed really poorly or if he had an injury. So he has an injury. Joe Flacco has remained healthy. Joe Flacco is going to start the opener. So now their shift has to be, can Dillon Gabriel be the backup? Because can Dillon Gabriel be the backup leads to the other question of, do we need to still carry 4 quarterbacks on this roster? That's now the other part of this thing, right? And they're not going to cut Dillon or Shedeur, and now it seems like Joe's going to start. So Kenny Pickett could have very easily, and this isn't scores, this is just common sense in my head, If Kenny Pickett can't start, then does Kenny Pickett need to be on the team?
No.
Right? So that's kind of the next part of it. And I do think I know the intent was for Kenny Pickett to start this season and to see if he could have like a Darnold renaissance with this type of offense. But bad luck for him. His hamstring flares up, and now you're into 4 weeks of it. And Joe Thomas said on the broadcast that it's more significant than people realize. Well, obviously the proof is that Joe knows what he's talking about. He spent the whole week practicing and coaching with the team last week, so he knows exactly what's going on with Kenny. And now Kenny's into his 4th week with injury. So Dylan Gabriel is now in a massive spot. He's in a massive spot this week, and that he's got to be ready to be the backup. And if he gets through today unscathed with his hamstring, my hunch is he'll get the entire game on Saturday. If that can't happen, then quite frankly, that game's an utter waste for the Cleveland Browns, because you don't need to see Tyler Huntley do anything.
We what time? The first take. What's the Stephen A. Smith show? Is that still First Take? I don't pay any attention.
Yes,
could be.
Does he come on and say the Browns are putting Dylan Gabriel in a bad position? Because if they give him the reps Saturday against the defending Super Bowl champions,
yeah.
Do we say that they're trying to tank Dylan Gabriel's career? Because it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, I think here's the thing. You're being tongue-in-cheek, but I think the thing that you have to remember is, and you know this, and I think it's important sometimes for the audience to understand this, and this goes back to the Dallas Cowboys conversation we were having. When you're doing shows like that this time of year, you're looking at the easiest point of entry for the majority of the audience. That's what you're looking for. So if they tried to do a Dylan Gabriel's not getting a fair shake in Cleveland, you'd have to explain to people who aren't diehard college football fans who Dylan Gabriel is.
Oh, that's too much work.
You don't have to do that with Shedeur Sanders. You don't have to do that with the Dallas Cowboys. You don't have to do that with LeBron James. You don't have to do that with Arch Manning. Everybody knows who they are. So the point of entry for somebody who doesn't follow this stuff all of the time is minimal. You can jump in on this anytime you want. It's why in the middle of summer you'll see Jordan versus LeBron. For how many? Like 10 summers you'd get that. Jordan versus LeBron. I mean, they made a big deal all summer about LeBron James, like all of a sudden the Lakers choosing Luka. He's 28. The other guy's 40. Like, is this really a story? Like, what are we talking about here? But LeBron is an easy point of entry. Anybody can have a discussion on it and have an opinion on it very quickly. Same thing with Shedeur. Shedeur is a 5th-round pick with an ultra-famous last name who was one of the stories of college football. Guys, they did 10 million viewers at 10 o'clock his first year in Boulder against Colorado State. 10 million people in the 4th window. People are curious about it. It's an easy point of entry for dialogue. So in terms of where the Browns are with all of this, the thing to really pay attention to is if Dylan Gabriel can get through today unscathed. If he can get through today unscathed, then I think you'll see him on Saturday, and it's a pretty useful game. Some breaking news out of Pete Thamel on the case of the NCAA versus Michigan. Could we finally have some details? We'll get you the details on that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING. Matty Ice here for McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. I recently brought a brand new Chevy Trax from McDaniel GM Superstore. It was by far the best car purchase I have ever made. And right now, you can get a 2025 Trax at McDaniel GM Superstore for as low as $20,995. They will treat you like family, just like they treated me like family. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in OHIO. But the greatest players and coaches of all time live in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if you spend your Sundays yelling "Hoo Day" or barking like a dog from your seats in the pound. A trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be on every fan's bucket list. Plan your trip at ProFootballHof.com. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion, relive the glory.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
T-Bone and Tybus.
You comparing apples to
oranges. No, I'm not. I'm literally comparing sandwiches to sandwiches.
You can't make a PB&J without the bread.
Yes, and to me, I need a hot dog. I want it on a bun.
T-Bone and Tybus Mornings on the Fan is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Want to get 30% stronger in just 8 weeks? Then GNC Ant Whey Bolic is your protein. From America's #1 protein powder brand for building strength, Ant Whey Bolic delivers ultra-pure, fast-digesting whey protein packed with 6.2 grams of leucine for faster gains in muscle growth and recovery. If you want more out of every workout, then settle for nothing less than a premium formula that's third-party tested for over 285 banned substances and proven to get you stronger, faster. Go to your local GNC for Whey Bolic and get ready for gains.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Connect with the show on X at 971BFS. Jump in our YouTube chat or just send a raven. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Pete Thamel, ESPN. The NCAA has formally notified partners tied to the Michigan NCAA infractions case that an announcement on the findings and punishments will be publicly released on Friday. Sources tell me and Dan Wetzel.
Watch this happens Friday at 12:30.
12:01.
You son of a bitch.
Look, I don't think this is going to be what you all want. I don't. I know that there's some people who talk about the Buckeyes and cover the Buckeyes who have been hinting for a long time that this is going to be some sort of hammer. I don't think that it will be. And it's some of it's circumstantial. Some of it is just believing what you hear, and some of it's tea leaves. But I would be shocked. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that there is a severe punishment for outright cheating. I hope that there is, but my hunch is that that there won't be. And I think you have got to listen when the commissioner of the conference is writing letters on your behalf to minimize the severity of punishment. You have to understand the game that is being played here, and it's 3D chess a little bit. It's more than just for us, for people in Lansing, for other folks around the country. There's a great deal of frustration and anger towards what happened, and I get it, and it's understandable and it's justified. They cheated. They outright cheated, All you got to do is look at what they did, what Harbaugh was before this started happening and what he was after, and that's it. Now, you had your chance to make it all right with a win here, and it didn't happen, and you got to live with that. But the other part of this that is very real is it does not behoove this conference. It does not behoove the television partners at all. They have no interest in a neutered Michigan. Fox has no interest in a neutered Michigan. The Big Ten has no interest in that. So my hunch on this, and I hope I'm wrong, but my hunch is this will be viewed by most of you as a slap on the wrist for the Michigan program for what they did. And my hunch is they'll try to sell it as, well, Harbaugh's no longer there. He's got a show cause. He's been suspended. Didn't he sit out 8 games that year? Is that what it ended up being? 6 or 8?
I think it was 6. 2 different 3 games.
Right. Yeah.
For different things.
Yeah.
That was for cheeseburgers or ketchup on the cheeseburger or something like that. I don't
even
remember.
Can remember. He had 1,000 things. So that's my hunch, is that's what it's going to be. I don't know what would satisfy all of you. My hunch is like SMU death penalty. I'll tell you, you're not getting that. That ain't happening. I think the most punitive thing you could do to them would be to fine them massively financially as an institution. I'm talking like $50 million from the athletic department. And you could say, well, that's a drop in the bucket. They can get that from Larry Ellison's girlfriend or whatever. Okay, fine. Yes, they probably could. But $50 million is $50 million. So I would think a big financial punishment to the university would be something that would hit. And I think if you really wanted to just neuter them, I think if you just banned them from postseason play for 2 years, that would do it. But I don't think the Big Ten or the television partners want any interest in that.
Could we get Top Gun Teddy to call in a favor and had some ordnance dropped on the big house and turn it actually into a giant hole in the ground? It's very close to that right now. But I do wonder, are we going to look back in 5 years and see penalties given to Central Michigan as more substantial to that football program than what Michigan's going to get tomorrow?
Yes, absolutely.
I think so too.
Because Central Michigan doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, and they'll have no one going to bat for them. Bo, I don't know how you do this. You know what? I'm more interested than a fine to Michigan. I'm more interested in hitting their NIL right now. Like, that means more, right? Like, hey,
it does.
You can't do any NIL for a year or 2. Hit them where it hurts, man.
I just don't know. I don't know how you could police that.
That's the thing. I don't know how you do it. But
I mean, that would be a very punitive blow if you said, but the policing of it would be almost impossible to do. And how would they deal with things that are already ongoing, like the payment of Underwood, which is already happening? So I don't know how they would ever put that genie in the bottle. And I think if you do fine them a massive amount, that essentially is fining their NIL. Kind of is.
They might have a donor that just writes the check and says, all right, let's be done with this.
I don't think that hurts Larry Ellison at all.
No.
It might not, but $50 million is $50 million, even for a guy worth however many billion he's worth. It's still a significant punch. But I think that's the best you're going to hope for. I would be floored if they are given some sort of postseason penalty. Because quite honestly, if they were given a postseason penalty, it would open up the floodgates for transfers. And that would neuter the program.
I hope that I am wrong when I say this. Don't get me wrong. And you already know, Bo, like all of this I don't care about anymore.
Yeah.
After it all came out and Ohio State lost to them that year, it didn't really matter to me. Like, you had your chance to shut them up and you didn't. Mm-hmm. But we've got fans in our YouTube saying that we're crazy, Michigan's getting hammered, Michigan's getting the hammer, all of this stuff. Like, I hope I'm wrong, but that's not happening.
I just don't think it is either.
And does it deserve to? Maybe. But the guys that were involved in it outside of Sharon Moore are gone. The players that would have known about it or took part are gone. Like, it just... I just don't see it happening, especially like you said. Petitti's already gone to bat for him, sent a letter, said enough's enough. Like, I think, and I hope I'm wrong, but like I said, I think the people that think, oh my gosh, Michigan's getting SMU'd are delusional.
No chance.
Yeah, I do think, the 3 of us, I hope we're all wrong. I hope we probably come back on Monday and say, wow, we did not have that. What the NCAA did, they took a flamethrower to the Michigan football program. But I just think it's in our best interest and the fans' best interest to expect nothing from the NCAA.
Yeah, they're going to do something. They're going to trump it up like it's something more important than it is.
It'll be like a 6-page press release on how great they were and how thorough the investigation was. It's like, brother, it was all on videotape for you.
Yeah, and it's going to be it'll be big words on and great length on how severely the punishment is, and if I'm sure that there will be a monetary fine of some point, but my guess is it's not going to be satisfactory to any of you or us. We're going to be like, really? Hell, Portnoy's got that in the seat cushion. That's how I think that's kind of my thinking on how this is going to go. I do think be curious what they do with Moore. I think the only thing that would be really punitive to them and really set them back is some sort of postseason ban going forward, whether that they could probably survive this year. Like if it was a postseason ban for this year, I don't think they're going to be great this year anyway. So perhaps that's the one. And we'll see. But yeah, I just would prepare for this to be very disappointing. If you're thinking you're going to get SMU or you're going to get some sort of massive penalty, even thinking you're going to get what happened here in TACgate with a postseason ban and a show cause for Tress. Harbaugh's already got the show cause. That already happened. So what postseason ban could you do? Yeah. So we'll find out tomorrow. I hope it's during the show because I think it'll be a fascinating discussion to see what's happening. And I hope I'm wrong on this, but my hunch is that this is going to be a slap on the wrist in most of your eyes is kind of the way I see it going. All right, coming up next, we open up that mailbag on a Thursday. Paul Finebaum coming up at 10:30, higher, lower, in between. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
1877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and I want to talk to you about the roof over your head. You know that thing that protects your house and everything in it? It's pretty important, and a lot of you are going to have to replace it soon, but be warned. There are companies out there that skip over the biggest part of the process, the attic ventilation. You see, if that attic doesn't have proper circulation, it can cause problems such as mold and rot. You got rot. And not to mention leaks in the wintertime and higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I'm telling you about my guys at Victor's Home Solutions. They start with a free 21-point roof inspection, including a thorough inspection of that attic as well. They know that if that ventilation isn't right, that roof's going to be built on a shaky foundation. That's why every Victor's roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are also available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and get that estimate today. 866-VICTORS or go to victors.com.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers, and you want to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Hey, Buckeye fans! As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
1877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
The summer event is still on at Germain Honda of Dublin, and with football back, Rich is ready to dominate the competition. You can lease the sleek 2025 Honda Accord LX for as low as $249 a month or finance with 3.99% APR. Upgrade to adventure with the 25 Honda Pilot Sport all-wheel drive. Lease starting at $429 per month or 4.49% APR. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for full details.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The hammer could be coming for Michigan football about 24 hours from now. The NCAA says it will announce their findings and punishments for the Wolverines sign-stealing scandal. That'll be on Friday. The investigation's been ongoing since 2023 amid allegations former U of M staffer Connor Stallions broke NCAA rules about stealing signs and advanced scouting Michigan's opponents. The college football season begins in 8 days. Number 22 Iowa State battles number 17 Kansas State next Saturday at noon in Dublin, Ireland. In the NFL, Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders injured his oblique yesterday at practice with the Eagles. He won't play in Saturday's preseason game at Philadelphia. Rookie quarterback Dylan Gabriel could get the start there. You can hear it over on ESPN Columbus with kickoff Saturday at 1 p.m. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Rates as low as 5.54% APR and a $400 cash bonus when you refinance your auto loan with BMI Federal Credit Union.
First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a Thursday edition. It is 10 o'clock. Time to open up that mailbag.
Our comment box is always open. Any feedback is mostly appreciated.
The mail never stops. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. There's never a let up. It's relentless. Every day it piles up more and more and more. And you got to get it up. And the more you get out, the more it keeps coming in. Again.
Bishop and Friends present emails.
All right, another full mailbag this week. We start with Gregory. The subject is Ohio State quarterbacks. The message: do you think Ohio State could do a Tebow in 2006 with Keenholz by using him in the red zone with Sand starting? So Ryan waded down these waters with Devin Brown a couple of years ago with Kyle, and we saw a couple of plays here and there, but we never really saw that full package, and we'll never really know like how close they came to maybe Devin playing a little bit more that year because he got hurt, and then you never really got to see him play here. And wish him luck at Cal, certainly. The long and the short of it is, no, I don't think so. I don't think that you would have a package for that, in large part because I think to do that, you're taking one of your best players off the field in Sand, and to take a quarterback off the field, like it's really got to be worth it. Urban in 2006, Tebow essentially it was Wildcat, is what it was. I mean, it was basically running the Wildcat, and Chris Leak wasn't someone who was going to stick his nose down and go do that. He was very good at throwing the short and intermediate pass, as we found out in the national championship game. But they basically used Tebow as as a wildcat is what he was. I don't see that for Kienholz. I just don't.
Maybe later in the season, if they find out that would work best, if they're having issues in short-yarded situations,
yeah,
or if they want to make Michigan or other opponents in the college football playoff think about something. But I feel like Texas and the 2 weeks after that are going to be the bare bones offense that they'd like. Hopefully they're going to be very aggressive with that offense. And I say bare bones just for lack of a better term because of all the talent that we've talked about for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
That the quarterback will have to throw the ball to. I think that's where they stick, and then a quarterback package might come later October, maybe before. Now that I think about it, give Jim Knowles something to think about.
Now, you already mentioned Devin Brown and Kyle McCord. Now, I think Julian Sayin is a better athlete than Kyle McCord, and he can move around a little better than McCord did, but on the same hand, Lincoln Kienholz, I think, is that much better of an athlete than Devin Brown was as well.
Yes.
And they already toyed around with this. And, Bo, you said you don't want to take one of your best players off the field where well, Ohio State right now, whether it's the real truth or not, is telling me that Lincoln Kienholz and Julian Sayin are pretty much neck and neck and how good of a player they are. So I do believe this is going to happen, and I think we will see this. If Julian Sayin is the guy, and everybody seems to think that's the case at quarterback, I do think we will see Lincoln in some packages, especially in the red zone, and I think we will see him more than we did Devin Brown.
I agree with that part. I think we will, too. I think you're going to see – I mean, he's been here 3 years. They love him. It's tight comp. I think you'll see him play a little bit. This is from our old buddy Bill, who loves us. Subject: reality is near. 8-4, a possible 7-5. Will they beat both Washington and Wisconsin away from home? Texas is a critical game. Most of you have them losing and being okay. So wrong. Wake up, boys. Say what is really on your mind as adults. Shame Ohio State remains your master. Never change, Bill. Never change. So good. All right. This is from John. The subject: AI's way out of noon games. He writes, "Hi, Bo and the boys. Love listening to you guys. Bo, appreciate the thoughts on Penn State and noon games. It's cathartic to hear the vocal frustration that so many of us are feeling. With that said, I thought you might find this interesting. I took to ChatGPT and asked it to assume the role of a 20-plus year contract attorney to find us a legal way out of all of the premier games being at noon. I found what it came up with relatively interesting. Apologies for the length. Guys, it's a brief. It's 2 pages of legal docs.
Oh my gosh!
That it spit out. I mean, I can't read all of this. It would take me until the end of the show.
Send it to Ross.
Among the things, use University-Controlled Safety and Operations Authority. The one place Fox's TV rights can't overrule is University Safety and Operations Policy, saying it's unsafe to play at noon. Adopt a formal kickoff heat policy.
Too hot.
I guess that I've had to done that by now.
This is great.
It's not a terrible idea.
No, staffing. Look at ChatGPT did it.
Friggin' AI knows everything.
AI attorney. This is terrifying, too. Staffing and security constraints. Broadcast infrastructure access restrictions. Schedule stadium or surrounding area maintenance utility work that physically blocks truck access to Fox's production compound until after 1 p.m.
Oh, yeah, lay in the street.
This is amazing. Oh, my God.
Hands across Cannon Drive.
I'm guessing the Fox TV trucks get here like Wednesday night or Thursday. Like, that's a long laydown.
It's AI, Bake. What do you want? Non-conference carve-outs. Create PR and political costs for Fox. Schedule manipulation via Big Ten office. It's 2 pages. It's 2 pages of all stuff. He finishes, again, sorry for the length. Just thought they were all fun hypotheticals. Love you guys and go Bucks. That's a great job. It's a great job out of you,
That is
John.
fun.
That's great.
Somebody on the YouTube chat said maybe we should ask ChatGPT to punish Michigan.
There you go. Someone should do that. That would probably do it. No, that's good. And it also speaks to just how brutal this all is, the reality of this thing, and how helpless it all feels with these big noon kicks and these every massive game at noon until 2030. This one from Chad. The subject is a PTO solution. Bake, this one's going to be all about you.
Okay.
Hi, Bo, longtime listener. Love what you guys do, so thank you for that. I just finished up last Thursday's episode and heard Bake saying his bucket list sports trip is doing a West Coast game stretch with the Blue Jackets. Then he said it couldn't happen because of lack of PTO. This seems like a problem with a solution. Can the Fan get him there to cover the games for the station? No PTO needed, but he can cover the games for you guys and the rest of the shows on the Fan, provide a city report including some of the food situations. Obviously, this relies on Baker wanting to do this and funding. I see it as some version of Baker exploring the cities the way he would if he was on vacation while doing one Bo recommendation per day, so we get a combination of Baker being Baker and maybe a little fish out of water. On the funding side, I would volunteer some soft earn to help crowdfund this endeavor, and maybe some others would too. Just a thought. Love the show.
Fish,
He's
if you're
like
listening,
your benefactor.
If you're listening, Fish, let's get it done. Top men, come on.
He's ready to crowdfund it, Bake.
I mean, I love these people. I love our fans. They're the best.
The best, man. Absolutely the best. All right, couple more. The Great Snagglepuss. All right, so Snagglepuss legend, big Mad Men guy, and he was looking for recommendations, and I recommended The Gilded Age. He wanted to thank you for suggesting The Gilded Age. I hadn't watched anything since I began Mad Men back in June. I'd watch maybe an episode or two a day, would go back and rewatch something I missed. I did get a quick interruption with Untamed on Netflix. That's the Eric Bana one that looks pretty good. His algorithm got pretty dark with some Waco, the Oklahoma City bombing, that type of stuff. Didn't matter the platform. I enjoyed Downton Abbey, loved Bridgerton, so I gave your suggestion a try and have enjoyed The Gilded Age so far, especially earlier today when the Red Cross episode and Clara Barton was put into the equation. Yeah, it's a fun show. I know you tried it, Reese, with the lady friend. Stick with it. The historical stuff with it's pretty great. They get into a lot of the historical stuff that happens in the 1880s with the robber barons and a lot of true life stuff on that.
Yeah, here's kind of the positive of her not liking the show. It's whenever she's not available and I've got some time, I'll put it on. Like, there are benefits to watching everything with your partner once, and if they hate it, then you're like, all right, cool.
So I happened to watch the Untamed he was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, we put it on one night. And
it's
then
pretty good.
This is why I don't get into shows, because once I see it, then I got to realize I got to watch the rest of it. And then my time is stuck.
Yeah.
But so I think the Untamed was just 6 or 7 episodes, and I was kind of into it, and then the ending sucked. It was awful.
They didn't land the plane.
It was so bad. It was like, it was probably worse than Yellowstone. And then I was just like, I just wasted 6 hours of my life the past week on this.
It was disappointing now that I think about it.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Yeah, it sucked. No, I think they said maybe there's another season coming. Gosh, I hope so, because that ending was awful.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it. It's disappointing.
There's too much content right now is the reality of it. There's just too many shows, and you can't tell if they're trying to make it be a 6-episode, kind of a banger, if they try to turn it into a multi-series thing. So all of those things are tough. This one from Josh will finish here. The subject is great job out of you. Hey, guys, been a big fan of the show since starting with threes and up to today. He's in Milwaukee, grew up on the Hilltop and later Bexley. I know a little bit of a drastic change. I was called
just a bit.
I was called the White Jeffersons because we moved up on the east side. I must admit that I'm a Michigan fan, but try not to hold that against me. I suffer through everyday Ohio State talk because you all are so entertaining and bright, great insight. The college football takes are informing. I like to hear Bo's Browns takes outside of Berea. Has some positive things to say about all of us. Very, very positive. Bo, I listen to the show and your afternoon show without fail. Love hearing about the stories about the boys and all the nonsense talk. The sports talk is great, but the other stuff is a difference maker for me. I, as well, had the unfortunate fate of spending multiple years in Tallahassee. We need a Tallahassee story time one show. I know the things that happen down there and no one would believe. He's right on that. I mean, it's totally different world. Anyway, guys, keep up the great work. I'll be listening every day and counting down till my favorite show, the now annual Monday after Thanksgiving Ohio State loss against Michigan show has become my favorite. Glad we've worked out for you, Josh.
Such a good email.
Just drinking our tears.
End. Such a good email until the end. It's like Untamed. It was awesome till the end.
Till the very end. Got us at the end. We'll do a little higher lower coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Check out this great deal on fresh grapes. Red, green, or black seedless grapes are only $1.77 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Win big at Eldorado Scioto Downs, your Caesars Rewards hotspot. Play over 1,700 hot games. Sip craft brews at Brew Brothers. And dine at Guy Fieri's Trattoria with its famous 68-layer lasagna. Enjoy live music at Vail Bar and harness racing now through September. Experience nonstop thrills where rewards never stop. Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Keep your summer fun going in the best-selling Toyota Tacoma. Now through September 2nd, get 4.75 APR financing on a rugged new 25 Tacoma. Excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter. Or you can lease a new well-equipped 25 Tacoma SR5 double cab for just $289 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday. Live in Columbus. Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday with special guest Foxing Kemba Live Outdoor Saturday, October 23rd. Get tickets now at AXS.com. Brought to you by Promo West Productions.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully, with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab. Just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is $0 and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS-TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC-TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine for today, and the humidity not as intense, although it still will be noticeable. We'll see afternoon highs getting into the upper 80s, and then for tonight, mostly clear skies overnight with our lows down into the 60s. We end the work week on Friday with temperatures right around 90 degrees and plenty of sunshine to go around, so don't forget the sunscreen. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. After putting up with took Tom to bury for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and we're proudly sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for over 78 years. Time now for a little higher, lower. Hit it, Reese.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. Call The Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling today at 614-232-2222 or visit online at thewaterworks.com.
Higher or lower for today comes to us from the AP poll.
Oh, baby.
Who released their preseason top 25 on Monday, like at 12:05. Bunch of jerks. We had talked last week after the coaches released their poll if there would be some parallels. There were some, a little bit different at the top for the AP top 25. We'll start with number 1, Texas, getting 25 first-place votes. At number 2, Penn State with 23 first-place votes. At 3, with 11 first-place votes, The Ohio State University. Higher or lower for the Buckeyes at 3?
I would. It's hard. I am so prejudiced towards Penn State because of Franklin, and I just don't believe that he can handle this. I just don't. And so I could see the. And yet, this is the thing that makes it difficult because based on how I would do a preseason AP poll, Penn State would have to be ahead. They'd have to be. Because what I tried to do is I try to judge a team on what they are right now. And what Penn State is right now is they have a returning quarterback. Both their backs came back. They're really good up front. They went in the portal, got wide receivers. Their defense should be an absolute monster, and so, especially in the front seven. So when I look at them, I think, yeah, this has the look of like preseason number 1 in the country. We've said for the last couple of weeks as these have come out that Penn State and Clemson are the two, when you kind of look at the way that their seasons are set up and look at the returning players, that probably ought to be 1 and 2 based on what they are on paper. My God, we don't even have a quarterback yet. We have 2 good ones, but right now we don't have one. So that would be kind of the argument for it. But it's just this, what do you do with Franklin? I would have been fine with Ohio State anywhere from 1 to 4. I think anywhere in there is fine with me for the Buckeyes. But I probably would, I think 3. So in other words, 3 is a sweet spot. If they were 4, that wouldn't bug me either. I think it's totally appropriate for them to be 2 the way they are in the coaches poll. Quite honestly, you could argue they should be 1, the defending national champions, if you want to take the Ric Flair approach.
So I have been on record as saying if I was doing a poll, I would have Clemson number 1. I would have Penn State number 2. And then it's 3 or 4, Ohio State or Texas. I would put Texas at 3 for now just because we know a little bit more about their quarterback situation. We know Arch Manning's the starter, and we've seen 90 snaps out of Arch Manning, at least, of college football. We have not seen that much out of either Julian Sayin or Lincoln Keenholz. So I would have Ohio State a little bit lower. I'd have them 1 spot in number 4. And our guest in the next segment, Paul Finebaum, says he would have Ohio State lower.
Don't be too shocked by this, Screeny, but Ohio State is too high, and Heather, calm down. Alabama is too low. I really think Alabama is a serious national championship contender, and I don't get Ohio State at all, Greeny. I know they won the national championship last year. That has nothing to do with it. They don't have the same team, and that national championship hangover is going to get to them, so we'll take care of it. We'll see that in about 2.5 weeks when Texas gets up there and walks out of that stadium a winner.
Wow, you almost said we'll take care of it.
He almost did.
You putting on that burnt orange and heading on out to Ohio Stadium there, Paul?
I'll ask how his cowboy hat, his 10-gallon hat, and
he said like he's putting on the pads
and cowboy boots fit. So he's on in 9 minutes.
At number 4 on this, again, this is the AP preseason top 25 with 4 first-place votes, the Clemson Tigers. At 5, Georgia got a first-place vote. At 6, Notre Dame. At 7, Oregon, the Ducks get a first-place vote. At 8, Alabama. Higher or lower for the Tide at 8?
Yeah, I certainly a lot of talent, but you want to talk about quarterback questions. I have a lot about their quarterback situation. Ty Simpson's going to be the guy there. I don't understand why Alabama's ahead of LSU on this. I also am not sure why they're ahead of Oregon on this list. I do think that all of those teams should be ahead of Notre Dame until I see C.J. Carr throw a pass. And I need to know what that looks like. But I think Oregon can go up a little bit. Bama can go up. Bama needs to go behind LSU, and I think I'd have Notre Dame down a little bit. I want to see what that quarterback play looks like.
I wish I could remember exactly when I wrote this down last week when we were talking about the coaches poll where I had Bama, but I think it was right about here at number 8. Like, I have no doubt that Alabama is a talented team. Just like Ohio State, there may be questions, but I don't doubt the quality of athlete and the talent that they have. I am also, even though most people are not, I'm a big believer in Kalen DeBoer. This is a guy who every year he's been a head coach has won at least 9 games. And if Alabama gets to at least 9 games, they're going to be right about in this spot. So I think this is just about right for Alabama.
At 9, LSU. At 10, Miami. 11, Arizona State. 12, Illinois. 13, South Carolina. At 14, Michigan. Higher or lower for the Wolverines at 14?
I think their defense is going to be really good. Still have some weapons offensively. It's just a complete unknown at quarterback. Just a complete. But you think about these teams that are down here. You did Miami, Arizona State, Illinois, South Carolina, all have returning quarterbacks. In the case of Lenora Sellers, maybe an outside Heisman guy. Beck was an outside Heisman guy a couple of years ago. Obviously, Arizona State, Michigan Illinois speak for themselves. So, is Michigan better off overall than Florida or SMU, who have returning quarterbacks, or K-State, who has returning quarterbacks? I would have Michigan lower. I certainly like Oklahoma better than them. They have Oklahoma 18 on this list, so I would have Michigan maybe a little bit lower. I'm not sure Michigan's better than Indiana, as much as I have no patience for Cignetti. I think this Indiana team will be just fine. I think those two teams will kind of be similar to each other, so I would have Michigan a little lower than 14.
Yeah, I would have Michigan a little lower, too. The last of their really great national championship team is gone with Mason Graham and Will Johnson, Donovan Edwards, those guys heading off to the pros, although I do think their running back room is still pretty good. Listen, Bryce Underwood may live up to all the hype, but we just don't know. I think I would have Michigan down in the 20 to 22 range.
At 15, Florida. 16, SMU. Higher or lower for Bo's Ponies at 16?
Yeah, I think this is right about there for them. They return Kevin Jennings. They return a lot of their weapons. Good back returning. They've recruited well. They're good in the portal. I think they're going to be right in the mix in the ACC. I actually like them a little bit more than Miami. I think they're a little bit closer to Clemson than Miami is. So I would probably have them a little bit more. I already said I'd have them ahead of Michigan, so that alone gets them up there a little bit. I think those 3 teams in that tranche of SMU, K-State, Oklahoma, all of those teams I'd like to just swap places, take those 3 and move them up, take South Carolina, Michigan, and Florida and move them down.
This is right about right for SMU. I think I may have had them a spot or 2 higher, but this is pretty close right here, 16.
It's pretty remarkable that is a program that nobody wanted. Nobody. And for years, I would come on here and say, why would the Big 12 not want them? Why would the SEC not want them? It's Dallas. Everybody knows that they would have an NIL group that would go nuts if they were ever put in a league that mattered. And it got so bad that they actually are paying the ACC, or they're taking no money from the conference. No television money. We'll do it on our own. And in year 1, they made the playoff. And they're already recruiting in a top 20 range right away. I mean, it's just crazy to me that none of those other conferences wanted them. Like, quite honestly, why wouldn't SMU be appealing to the Big Ten? It's a great school, tremendous academics, incredible endowment, and you get Dallas?
Bo, could it be, and we know that the people that run the NCAA and these conferences are the old man's club, right? Could it just be there was still a stigma around SMU from cheating everything, and they were like, damn them, we're not including them no matter what?
I think it's that, and I think it's for people in the Big 12, it's that we don't ever want to weaponize them with letting them in the club, because if we ever let them in the club, we got to compete with them.
Like, why would the Pac-12, who had 2 teams, not have been trying to jump all over them? Like, hey, you're going to take them? We'll take these guys.
Absolutely. I have no idea. The Pac-12 should have went at them before they lost UCLA and USC. Yeah, I mean, they're just sitting there. I mean, they fit the SMU profile in every way, too. Why would the SEC not have wanted them?
Rounding out the AP Top 25 real quick, one of two teams involved in next weekend's Dublin-based Farmageddon is Kansas State at 17. 18, you've got Oklahoma. 19, Texas A&M. 20, Indiana. 21, Ole Miss. 22, the other team in Farmageddon, Iowa State. 23, Texas Tech. 24, Tennessee. Higher or lower for the Volunteers at 24?
I think the Vols are overvalued. I think it's a step back for them for sure this year. I think both Iowa State and Kansas State, I think both of those teams should be like in the mid-teens. I think they'll both be pretty good.
Yeah, Tennessee, Joey Aguilar's a fine player, but I don't think he's quite as good as Nico was. You lose Dylan Sampson, you lose James Pierce. I don't see Tennessee being that good this year.
Well, he apparently is riding Bevo into town. So we're going to quiz him on it. Paul Finebaum, the Buckeyes are ranked too high. We'll ask him about it in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Enjoy hot deals on Meijer brand back-to-school must-haves all season long. Save on breakfast favorites like Meijer Toasted Oats Honey Nut Cereal, select varieties of Meijer pastry treats, Meijer Sweet and Salty Granola Bars, and Meijer Applesauce, each for only $1.79. Save on lunchtime essentials like Meijer Peanut Butter, Meijer Grape Jelly, and Meijer Round Top Bread, just $1.39 each. Saving a good deal more on your favorite Meijer brand must-haves is a good deal better all season long. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Cash for Clunkers continues during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for Clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HR-V two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic four-door LX for just $299 a month. Zero cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 for Kids.
1-877 for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Bishop and Friends present college football's most polarizing figure.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Come on back to our show, Tim. The audience hates you.
This is ESPN's Paul Finebaum, sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All right, buddy. Our region catching strays from you. Just minding our own weekends, and next thing I know, Buckeyes are ranked too high, and the Big Ten needs its comeuppance. We just played a clip of you, my man. I'm the one with the Buckeyes being ranked too high, and you're talking about Texas come up. We think we discovered a we in there. Like, are you riding Bevo up 77 here in a couple weeks?
Yeah, you know, I heard Colin Cowherd say yesterday that Texas is basically USC with a cowboy hat, and I had to come to the rescue.
I see. You do think that the Buckeyes are a little ranked a little too high, sitting there at 3 in the AP, 2 in the coaches. What is your reason for that, sir?
There's no reason for any of this, Bo, as you well know. I mean, we are trying to dice and slice a poll that really is a continuum of a bunch of magazines in the grocery stores and online that nobody has any earthly idea why they put it out. I interviewed Phil Steele the other day, and I was never so dizzy in my life. He must have mentioned 8,000 names of 400 different teams, and I didn't know what he was talking about. And I say this to the audience. We are commentators, and we are asked to give opinions. We could easily say, man, that's a good question. I guess we'll have to see how it goes on the field, but Bo and I don't do that. We offer opinions, and quite frankly, and I know people will take this the wrong way. We don't really care whether we're right or wrong. We're just having fun with it because that's where we are right now. To me, when people get hung up, and I had a Clemson fan, an LSU fan, a Buckeye fan, and a Horn fan yelling about their ranking, they're all meeting on the first weekend. The winner of the Ohio State-Texas game will be number one on Monday. I don't care what the game looks like. It can be played in a monsoon, but the school that has the most points is going to be the number one team in the country. So what I said on Get Up with Heather Dinich is worth about as much as your garbage that you tossed out this morning. But, this is entertainment.
Buddy, we wouldn't be still employed if our answer to everything was, well, we got to let it play out on the field. That's not – you're not in this line of business very long if you say that. But I do think it speaks to something that is so critical. And I talked to Ross Bjork about this, and I talked to Ryan about this, and they're kind of towing the company line with the Big Ten on this. I still think it is critical that the game that is happening here in a couple of weeks continue to happen because this sport is built – on subjective and opinion. And we're getting further away from that with a 12-team playoff, inevitably a 16. But one of the things that makes it so sweet, and you've had a career about this, our teams down here are better than your teams up there and vice versa. That's the beauty of it. I hope that is preserved and not lost.
And Bo, I know everybody, comes out and says, I'm just the biggest SEC homer and I'm paid to say that. You know that I'm not. I picked Ohio State to beat Texas last year in Dallas. I liked Ohio State from the beginning, other than that one afternoon against Michigan. And, I have fun with it, but I will give my opinion. I picked Clemson on TV the other day to beat LSU. That's not the company. What drives me crazy is when I sit there with former players who are employed now by TV networks, namely mine, and no matter what you ask them, the answer is, I'm interviewing a former Florida player. What do you think about Florida? I think they're going to win it all this year. No, they're not. You have to have fun with it. You have to have a balance. Yeah, I know where I work. When I walk in the building, it says the SEC Network. But that just means that you can have fun with the opinions and we're better than you. I did write a book 11 years ago saying my conference can beat your conference. And thanks to a lot of Buckeye fans, it became a New York Times bestseller.
It certainly did. It works. And I think that's the thing, what you just said right there about use the Florida example. I think that's the thing that the Big Ten, I hope that it gets to that point, and I hope that the money keeps flowing and it gets to that point, because I always thought that the beauty of of covering that league when I did was that people at Arkansas really believed that they could be a national championship contender. They believe it in their heart. Nobody up here at Iowa thinks that they should win a national championship or they're entitled to it, but Auburn does, and they have. And Tennessee believes that, and Mississippi they all believe they're entitled to that. A&M believes they're entitled to it. I think that's kind of the magic of that conference down there.
Ross Bjork knows this better than anybody because we've been together a long time in the SEC, and he was around for the launch of the SEC Network. But the problem with the Big Ten is the Big Ten Network. It doesn't really offer anything. They would be better off doing what Texas did 20 years ago and having their own network. Call it the Buckeye Network, because frankly, none of the other teams in the Big Ten really sizzle. Michigan occasionally, maybe more with Harbaugh than Sharon Moore. Penn State just seems like a uniform that's stuck in the 50s and 60s, and without the Buckeyes, you saw this story a couple of years ago. I know it sounds like self-promoting, but Dabo Swinney was quoted in an article last year on CBS Sports, and I'll clean it up when he complained. How come the ACC network doesn't have any blanking Paul Finebaums? And the point was somebody to stir the pot. Bo, Ohio State needs rivals up there, and right now their biggest rivals are down here.
Well, and that's why I do the show I do, because to me, I'm more interested in what Texas is doing than I am what Purdue's doing, because that's the true competitor here. And that's the thing that's always been interesting with Ohio State is they really operate the way that a lot of the teams down there do. And I think Oregon's getting there. I think Oregon's getting to the point where they're operating like that. I don't know if USC ever will, again, if they'll ever get to that point. They needed Nebraska to be able to do it. But the one thing that did happen here over the last couple of years is you have the last two national champions coming from teams up here. And I do think that the NIL component, there's some big money up in this part of the country, and they just need a couple of more of these programs to kind of go with it. That's why you brought up Penn State. I look at Penn State and I go, God, if you can't win it now, they kept all those kids, they had their NIL, they went into the portal. This feels like all of the pressure that was on Ohio State a year ago is now at the feet of James Franklin at Penn State, is kind of my view of that operation.
It is, and the easiest thing for me or anyone to say is that James Franklin can't win the big one. Well, there's only one way to change that narrative. But you're right, and ultimately, narratives get formulated at the highest level. And if we see another year, and if Penn State does it, there will be a reckoning. And there are a lot of reasons why the SEC has not won the last 2 years. Part of it is Georgia. Georgia absolutely choked away an SEC championship game against Alabama that Alabama had no business winning. Alabama should have lost the week before against Auburn. It came down to a 4th and 32. Only Hugh Freeze, the Auburn coach, decided to rush two people on the biggest play of his career. And so a lot of reasons for that. Last year, the Buckeyes would have beaten anybody. I don't care who was. Georgia can claim all the things that they want to claim, but they would not have beaten the Buckeyes. And quite frankly, the year that Ohio State lost to Georgia, I thought Ohio State looked like a better team that night in Atlanta too. So it's just some of it's luck. You guys know that. Urban should have won 2 more championships as well.
Yeah, certainly. One newsworthy piece this week was the Johnny Mateer story at Oklahoma. What did you make of that? I know Oklahoma's a tough schedule. I like their roster. I liked him a lot at Washington State. I like them maybe being a bit of a sleeper. But that was a noteworthy thing this week. What did you make of that story and the way Oklahoma and Mateer handled it?
I think they got away with it because it's a little hard to pin that. In some ways, I give him credit for if that's really what he was putting on his Venmo. He's honest. He's more honest than I would be. The only other person that would do something that stupid or did something that stupid was Hugh Freeze about 10 years ago when he marked down on his phone massage therapy.
Good.
Sometimes people do really stupid things. I don't think it's going anywhere based on available information, which, by the way, isn't great because everything we're hearing on that is being spoon-fed to us.
Yeah, it's the great line from George Costanza in Seinfeld. It's not a lie if you believe it. As soon as I saw that thing, I'm going, oh, come on, man. What are we doing? But at the same time, I don't really care, and I don't know how the NCAA could ever prove anything with the kids. So at this point, it's probably just fine. This is the beauty of our sport, though. We have crazy stories like this that allow for content for guys like you and me to talk about. Great chatting with you as always, my friend. Always appreciate it.
You bet. See you, Bo.
All right, there he goes. Paul Finebaum, ESPN and the SEC Network, joining us every Thursday, as he does, on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We had Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in OHIO. But the greatest players and coaches of all time live in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if you spend your Sundays yelling "Hoo Day" or barking like a dog from your seats in the pound. A trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be on every fan's bucket list. Plan your trip at ProFootballHof.com. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion, relive the glory.
Open a money market account at Kemba Financial Credit Union and enjoy a 4.00% APY intro rate until July 2026, 6 times the national average. Maintain easy access to your funds and secure financial stability. Don't miss out. Offer expires October 31st, 2025. Visit Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Advantage status and $5,000 minimum and $1 million maximum deposit required. APY equals annual percentage yield. Comparison based on FDIC average, federal insured by NCUA.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
It's Wilson from That Other Window Place, and this is the Secrets of Pella podcast. Secrets of Pella. Where we try to expose Pella Windows secrets. Okay, Leslie from Pella, with this easy slide operator, I can slide open this window with just one finger. What are you guys hiding?
Well, we're not hiding anything, but that slide is cool, right?
All right, cut. Leslie, it is so cool. Look, I'm opening it with just one pinky.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Want to know anything about the fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Thursday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the Master Griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Former Ohio State golfer Neil Shipley joined the Pat McAfee Show on Wednesday and was given some pretty awesome news.
I have an official announcement for you, and I don't think you know this, but you might have known that it was around the corner. Each year, 20 players earn a PGA Tour card through their position on the end-of-season Korn Ferry Tour points list. Throughout the season, the PGA Tour monitors players at the top of the list, and when they meet a certain threshold, they are declared #Tour Ban, which means they've locked up their PGA Tour card for the following season. Neil Shipley, it is with our honor, and I kind of gave it away there. You have a brain, so you certainly understood what was going on and been following along. But we are so incredibly lucky to be a part of a moment that we hope changes the trajectory of your life, your family's life, and everything you got going on. Congratulations, brother. With 2 massive comeback wins this season, you're a top 100 player in the world now. You've officially locked up your PGA Tour card. You are hashtag Tour Bond, sir. Congratulations. Hey, we're proud of you.
Thing or not a thing?
I mean, massive thing for him. Massive. Game changer, life changer, all of it. I did like how Pat corrected himself in the middle of it. I kind of blew that with the preamble. If this was going to be a surprise. If this is going to be a surprise, it no longer is. Isn't he a member? He's a member at Oakmont. Shipley is.
I know he grew up 10 minutes from there.
He was like a caddy there, and I think he's now a member at Oakmont. So things were headed in the right direction already. But yeah, that's an awesome thing. Really cool, life changer, game changer. Good job out of him.
Really cool, and really cool that they did this. Shipley already knew this, right? He pays attention to the standings, and he knows the rules. So he knew that he was doing well enough and was going to be getting his tour card for next year. But really cool. I wonder what the connection was there, and I haven't seen it all. But them having Shipley on, and maybe it's because he's a Pittsburgh guy, and McAfee grew up, not far from there and whatnot. I wonder what that connection is, though, as to why they had Shipley on the show. But really cool for him. This is a guy that we've kind of seen this coming for a little while. If you paid any attention to Ohio State golf, and he had the low amateur, his first time at the Masters and all of that. So really awesome thing for Neil Shipley, and hopefully he continues this career path that he's on.
We had planned to talk about this earlier in the program, but news of the NCAA set to announce Michigan's sign-stealing punishment and investigation findings. That's going to be tomorrow. That kind of took over at around 9:44 this morning. But Ohio State basketball finalized their non-conference slate on Wednesday for the 25-26 season. The Buckeyes are going to host OU for a preseason exhibition Wednesday, October 15th. They're also going to play games on November 11th against Notre Dame at the Shot. They're going to play against Pittsburgh. That game will be at Pitt on November 28th. They're going to have 3 kind of basketball classic-y games on December 13th against West Virginia in Cleveland, December 20th against North Carolina in Atlanta for the CBS Sports Classic, and then on Valentine's Day, Saturday, February 14th, against Virginia, the Nashville Hoops Showdown at the Bridgestone Arena. Thing or not a thing?
It's a nice schedule. I wish that some of these were here. I wish Carolina was here. I've never understood why, and this is a television network thing, right? So the CBS Sports Classic. You guys remember that? There's 8 people at those games in Atlanta. There's nobody at them. Unless Kentucky's involved, there's nobody that goes to these games. And it just sucks because if you were playing, by the way, you're going to be going up against NFL playoffs and college football playoffs on the 20th. Both you're going to be going up against. So this is going to happen in a closet. Whereas if they did it on a Monday night or a Tuesday night, something like that, it would get a lot of attention. So I don't understand why the television networks force this stuff down our throat with the neutral court stuff. It doesn't hit, man. It doesn't. If you're going to do it. I'll tell you what, you do the CBS Sports Classic and you take Ohio State and North Carolina, Kentucky, and let's say it's UCLA, and you play it at Rupp. And you play it 1 year on campus here and 1 year on campus at Carolina and 1 time in Pauley Pavilion, now you're onto something. But when you do these in Atlanta, the atmosphere is just brutal. It's just brutal. So I just wish that these games were there. I like the schedule. I just wish that the games were here.
Yeah, I love the schedule. I love to see that you've got these 5 power conference games, out-of-conference games on the schedule. I like that a lot. I get what these things used to be attended, right, Bo? Like people used to care about these.
They used to do like the Maui, like the Maui shootout or those type of things. But I mean, you remember these? I mean, who's going to be who on a Saturday in February is going to Nashville to watch Ohio State play Virginia?
Well, and if you remember last year, right, Ohio State, Kentucky was in the lead up to Ohio State, Tennessee. It was like, man, if this game goes to overtime or whatever, it's going to bleed over into the kickoff of Ohio State, Tennessee. So the timing is poor, but listen, and I get the atmosphere thing, but we know we do all of this for television now anyway. People are watching sports on television. at more of a rapid rate than ever. I love seeing Ohio State do it. Keep doing this schedule, Jake Diebler, and hopefully that they can. Hopefully, it gets these young guys ready, and hopefully they can make a run this year.
The Big 12 Conference announced Wednesday that they will begin player availability reporting for football and men's and women's basketball beginning with the 2025-2026 season. Big 12 Conference will publicly provide player availability reports for all conference games in football, basketball, and men's and women's. Approved by all member institutions, the policy will include updates in the days leading up to each game, as well as a final report 90 minutes prior to the game's start. Thing or not a thing?
It's inevitable. I mean, as long as you have gambling in your states, like this stuff is inevitable. You want to have the transparency on it, and you want to know who's in, who's out. So my guess is this becomes the approach throughout college sports immediately. I mean, that's my hunch is how this will end up going. This will be the first of many.
Yeah, we knew this was coming when the gambling got legalized and it was more and more of it was happening. We knew that this was all coming, especially when, they're going to have gambling partners eventually with all of this stuff. So, yeah, we knew this was coming. Not really a major thing.
Tom Dundon, the owner of the NHL's Carolina Hurricanes, has agreed to buy the Portland Trailblazers from the estate of Paul G. Allen for a valuation of just over $4 billion. Dundon intends to keep the team in Portland. Trailblazers announced they were formally up for sale in May, with proceeds of the sale going to philanthropic endeavors. Paul Allen died from cancer back in 2018. His will called for the franchise to be sold, quote, at some point. Allen's sister, Jody, has been acting as the team's governor and the executor of the Paul Allen Trust during that time. The trust has said the NFL's Seattle Seahawks will not be part of the sale. Neither is their 25% stake in the MLS's Seattle Sounders. Thing or not a thing?
I would say this would be a massive thing for people in Portland. I mean, I would take no plans of moving the team with a grain of salt. They got an old stadium. It's a great brand. They love them to death. It'd be crazy for a city like that not to have a team. But what would not make this guy who owns the Carolina Hurricanes, and my hunch is probably has some ownership rights in the arena, why would he not want to double his revenue and just move that team to Raleigh? That's where I would go with it immediately. That's conspiracy Bo. I immediately go there. Like, they're going to move the Portland Trailblazers to Raleigh.
So this is a thing, obviously, anytime one of these teams in the ownership transfers over. Tom Dundon really doesn't have, I believe, a tie to Carolina. Like, he grew up in New York. He has a lot of stuff in Dallas, a lot of business stuff in Dallas. And he seems to be one of the best owners in sports. Like, everybody kind of loves what the Carolina Hurricanes do down there. I hope that's true. I hope that he does not move this team, and hopefully he's kind of made even though they haven't won a championship, he's made the Carolina Hurricanes, helped make them relevant. Hopefully he can bring the Portland Trailblazers back to some prominence.
There was additional reporting that the Moda Center, where the Trailblazers play their home games, is going to be redeveloped. I think the team, the ownership, the new ownership, and the city and state of Oregon are looking to pool a bunch of money into a pot to get that thing redeveloped. I think the city of Portland owns the building. They bought it for $1 and the land that it sits on for about $7 million. This was kind of around the time of Paul Allen's passing. Mm-hmm. So I do wonder, Bo, to your conspiracy theorist point, if maybe the Hurricanes jump to the Pacific Northwest.
I mean, you'd love to have them play in a rivalry with Seattle. It'd be right there. It's kind of a layup. Hogan would know. He's been in Raleigh the last few years. We'll ask him when he gets up here and gets rolling about it, because I don't have any point of reference on how the Carolina Hurricanes are received or any of it. I have no point of reference on that, like how big of a deal they are, if that's something they're fighting down there. Go ahead, Big.
I know they have great tailgating before the hockey games down there.
Well,
I've heard from people that have been there.
All right. There you go. Something to monitor, though, for sure, anytime a big team gets sold like that. We are in two-a-days. We are in the AFC. We have the Chiefs and the Raiders up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with speedy rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The kitchen drain has had enough. The toilet's called it quits. Drains are clogged throughout the house. I'm gonna throw a fit.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting hinderermotorcompany.com.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Brought Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The NCAA will release their findings and announce possible punishments for Michigan football sign stealing scandal on Friday. The investigation's been ongoing since 2023. The college football season begins in 8 days with Farmageddon. Number 22 Iowa State and number 17 Kansas State play next Saturday at noon in Dublin, Ireland. In the NFL, Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders will not play in Saturday's second preseason game at the Eagles. Sanders is dealing with an oblique injury. Third-round rookie quarterback Dylan Gabriel could get the start Saturday at 1 o'clock. You can hear that game over on ESPN Columbus. While the Bengals, they'll play their second preseason game next Monday at the Washington Commanders. And in baseball, the Reds are off on Thursday, but Cincinnati hosts red-hot Milwaukee on Friday. This update sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, tickets, sideline passes, trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Register today at roosterswings.com.
Our top men are working on everything except this show.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, before we get to two-a-days in the AFC, did you guys catch any of the New Heights Taylor Swift last night? Was that in across your purview at all?
I was one of the 1.3 million for like 2 minutes.
What did you make of it?
I've been trying to think about that. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It's cool.
Did it break YouTube?
Probably not.
I thought I saw some reports this morning that it crashed.
I didn't see anything like that.
Yeah.
It was cool. And I think if you're huge Taylor Swift fans or huge fans of the New Heights podcast, I think you love the moment. I don't listen to it. I'm not a Swift. I guess I appreciate Taylor Swift. I wouldn't consider myself a Swiftie. So It very much felt like I logged on, looked at it, said, what am I looking at? And then logged off.
I know that I heard Dylan Gonzalez talking about it this morning. I think it was Cole tweeted about it yesterday and said he was very intrigued. And then he tweeted like it was 2.5 hours long or something like that.
Really?
And like only 2 or 3 minutes of it were worth anything. I don't know. But there's no part of me that has any interest or ever would have any interest in watching that.
Okay, so they did hit a glitch, and this was around 8:45 Eastern last night. So 45 minutes into the episode, they had to cut out.
When I saw that, makes me think: are they sure they can handle NFL games? Like, I mean, that's a couple million, which is crazy. A couple million people watch the live podcast, but then beyond that, like when you have real NFL games, can you handle it? Because that's coming.
Well, Bo, they handle all of the people watching us every day on YouTube, so it should be no problem.
Millions.
No problem.
Millions of people who are doing so, yeah. All right, we are done with the NFC. We are in the AFC, and we are starting out west. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present Two-A-Days, our preseason look around the league.
I mean, this matching up with this music, you can hear Facenda saying Raider. I mean, you can hear it. And it gives you goosebumps, but it only gives you goosebumps if you're an old guy.
See John Madden in the back.
Oh, dude, it's so great. How does it go? Something is a Raider, NFL films. NFL.
The autumn wind is like a Raider.
That's it.
I think.
I want to get it exactly. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, the autumn wind. The autumn wind is a Raider. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, but this is an organization that when I was a very little kid, and really a generation older than me, this was iconic. The Raiders were iconic. It was Renegades. It was Just Win, baby. It was they will take any, like Alzado, Howie Long, Jack Tatum, the Snake Stabler, like all of it. They haven't been that forever. They haven't been that for the longest time. They've moved 3 times in my life from Oakland to 4 times from Oakland to Los Angeles, back to Oakland, and then inevitably to Las Vegas. They went from having one of the great home fields in all of sport to really having no home field, because it's the number one trip for every NFL team to go to, is to go watch their team play in Vegas. Brady is part of ownership now. They've got a ton of money. They took some private equity money as well, so that helps them. They're trying to set some sort of a culture shift with Pete Carroll as the head coach, but they're a long ways off in a division that is quite honestly pretty dang tough. So when I look at this Raiders team, if I'm a Raiders fan, there's at least some things I can start to rally behind in terms of Bowers and Ashton Genty. That stuff gets me excited, but they're a long ways, man. And it's sad because this was one of the iconic franchises 40 years ago.
The one thing I know about the Raiders this year, Bo, Geno Smith is going to turn and hand the ball to Ashton Genty a lot, and he's going to throw it to Brock Bowers a lot, because there's not a lot else on offense for these guys.
No, they really, I mean, some of those Gruden drafts with Mayock and then even the McDaniel stuff, it's just a mess.
You don't like Alex Leatherwood?
There's some other ones too.
Damon Arnett?
Arnett, Ruggs. Look what happened to Ruggs. I mean, like, just some of the worst situations. But they were 4-13 last year. They hire Pete Carroll, and they bring Geno over from Seattle to kind of be a Band-Aid for him. Let's hit the categories on the Raiders. Fantasy sleeper for Vegas.
Who am I going to steal today? Listen, I just talked about it. They have nothing on offense outside of Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty. They're starting wide receivers, the three wide receivers that they have on their depth chart right now. Jacoby Myers, who's a 3 or a 4 on most teams in the NFL.
Yep.
Trey Tucker.
Good Lord.
3rd-round pick out of Cincinnati. And Dante Thornton Jr., a 4th-round pick this year out of Tennessee. I know Brock Bowers is going to get the ball a lot, but they're going to be in 2 tight ends a lot. And I've heard Michael Mayer is in maybe the best shape of his career right now and ready to bounce back from some injuries last year. I think they're going to use a lot of 2 tights with Chip Kelly, and you'll see him catch the ball a lot, too.
Yeah, I actually had the tight end from Notre Dame written down. So, great minds or something like that.
Well, when you're doing this,
there's not a lot to pick from on this team, though.
They have nothing much. I mean, I don't know how much they gave Christian Wilkins, but because he's a little freaky, they decided to jettison him. Like, that's, I think, tells you, like, they're ready to just not be great this year, to just kind of get the not great out of the locker room and then rebuild next season.
I keep an eye on Mostert, too. They have Raheem Mostert, who's been a fantasy kind of darling. If Genty falters or something, keep it a little bit of an eye on him, because I'm with you. I mean, they're going to have to run it. They're going to have to throw to the tight ends, obviously. Do they have the right quarterback, Vic?
No, because if you're a team that's rebuilding, like, Geno Smith's not the future. He's a nice little Band-Aid here for them, and it's going to be better at quarterback for them than it's been the past couple of years, but he's not the right guy.
Yeah, I don't think so. I do think that he's good enough to. I mean, it almost feels like, what do you want to do if you're the Las Vegas Raiders? And he's good enough to get him 8-9.
I don't understand it. I don't understand the swing at this at all, other than the fact that they really need to try to win some games. That's the only thing I can think of, is that let's. I mean, because he's well into his 30s, but we got to win some games. We got to get some people excited about this team. So, no, they don't have the right quarterback. They have a road to nowhere quarterback is what they have. Coolest player ever, my God, do they have choices?
They have maybe as many choices as anyone, but this might be the easiest answer of all to me. Someone our age, Bo?
Yeah.
It's got to be a guy named Bo.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson. Come on now.
Pretty cool.
Pretty sure, and this would be before my time, they had a guy on their team named the Assassin.
That's right.
Like, that's a really cool nickname. I mean, I think of Charles Woodson a lot, but I'm going to have to go with Jack Tatum over Woodson for the most obvious reason in the world.
Yeah, Buckeye. That works. Yeah, the Assassin is a pretty great.
Couldn't get away with that name nowadays, probably.
You couldn't. The idea that they had Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson at the same time.
Wow.
Was just crazy. It was just something that Al Davis did. I think my answer would be Bo, but my God, Kenny the Snake Stabler. Come on, dude. I was on a plane into New Orleans with him when Ohio State played LSU for the national title, and he was in a baby blue suit and just looked exactly like you'd want somebody whose nickname was the Snake to look. Just perfect. And everything that you'd want. But yeah, they've had a lot of cool ones through the years. What is this team this year, Bake?
So I don't think they're very good, but I can't help but think they're going to have better quarterback play this year. I think they're going to have better coaching with Pete Carroll. In their division, yes, it's tough, but their schedule outside of the division is not that tough. They've got games with New England, Chicago, Indianapolis, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Cleveland, the New York Giants. So the schedule is not super difficult for them. I think they're going to be a couple games better this year. I think they're 6-11, possibly even 7-10.
Yeah, week 8 bye. I think they'll be 6-11.
Yeah, they're better, which I think isn't the point. I wouldn't want to be better. I would want to be bottom and put yourself in a position to get a quarterback, but that's not what they're doing. Pete's 73. They're trying to have a little bit of success. Timmy Hall, by the way, all over it. The autumn wind is a pirate. Is the actual thing. The autumn wind is a pirate blistering in from the sea with a rollicking song. He sweeps along, swaggering bolsterously. His face is weathered. He wears a hooded sash with a silver hat about his head and a bristly black mustache.
That's good.
That's pretty good. And then it finishes with, as he robs them of their gold, the autumn wind is a raider, pillaging for fun. I mean, that's just great. That is great. As good as it gets. No, they're nothing. They're road to nowhere as they stand right now. Franchise grade for the Raiders.
It's amazing to a brand that's so iconic in outside of the Cowboys, maybe the most recognizable uniform and worn uniform and gear around the country, that they've seemed to have never had a home. L.A., Oakland, now they're in Vegas. It has just been ran so poorly for so long. This franchise grade should be an A, but it's a D.
I got it a little higher as a C-. I do think getting to Vegas for the NFL was important, and the fact that they landed there, I think, will give them a little bit of juice. The stadium's brand spanking new. Tom Brady, I think it was really smart of the current Davis to just let Tom Brady give him millions of dollars and then let him run the football thing, because the youngest Davis would rather just eat P.F. Chang's all day, which, hey, nothing wrong with that. But this is the wrong team in Vegas, so it's a C-. It should have been the Chargers, and they should have gone to Los Angeles.
Yeah, Kroenke didn't want that, and I understand why, because he didn't want to be the second fiddle in his own building, so that's why that didn't happen. But this should be an A. It should be, but because it's all the branding is perfect, everything kind of fits with their attitude, all of it. But yeah, it's a C-. I mean, they have not been consistently relevant in 30 plus years. Almost 40 years since they've been consistently in the mix. They had the one run with Gruden, and then it ended up being Callahan, didn't it? Where they had a little bit of success and got to a Super Bowl against the Bucs, but yeah, no, it's been a long, long time. One team that will be an A is the Kansas City Chiefs. We hit them coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Sometimes I hear a sparkling sound.
Like when we say, all you have to do is point?
There it is.
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
Parents,
Parents, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We're listening.
Yeah. Are your teens good with money?
She's a good kid,
she's the
but
best,
yeah.
I get it. Switch to Huntington Bank, and your teen debit card can really help.
Oh?
You can set spending limits, and your kid can track budgets, so they learn that money doesn't, in fact, grow on trees.
I think we need this.
Sounds good, yeah. We feel you, parents. Let's get more from teen banking. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Common Man here. Our friends at Care Heating and Cooling in Lenox are feeling the love. They're doing something extraordinary for Central Ohio families. The Lenox Feel the Love program provides deserving families and individuals with indoor heating and cooling equipment as well as installation at no cost. You can nominate someone who you think is deserving at feelthelove.com. Nominations will be accepted through August 31st. Let's give back to our hometown heroes. Selfless neighbor, maybe who always puts everybody first. Community leaders like teachers, firefighters, and volunteers, or just families facing hard times. Whoever you think is worthy, send a nomination. As of 2024, the Feel the Love program has completed more than 350 installations with help of dealers like Care Heating and Cooling. Our friends at Lenox donate all the equipment, and Care donates the labor and materials, and the installs are done at no cost. Remember, the deadline is August 31st. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Join Timmy Hall for Buckeye Replay Saturday at 1. Classic Games in Ohio State football history.
Sponsored by Weber Grills.
This week, Ohio State and Texas. Playoff action in Arlington. The Fan.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine for today, and the humidity not as intense, although it still will be noticeable. We'll see afternoon highs getting into the upper 80s, and then for tonight, mostly clear skies overnight with our lows down into the 60s. We end the work week on Friday with temperatures right around 90 degrees and plenty of sunshine to go around, so don't forget the sunscreen. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie. And once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Can you sleep on a team that went 15-2, that's won 3 Super Bowls and lost in the Super Bowl last year? Because I feel like that's what's happening.
So funny. I was just thinking about that.
It's like, I'm looking at this roster. I know who the quarterback is. I know who the coach is. I look at what they've added this offseason. I think about their draft, and I go, these dudes went 15-2 last year, played in the Super Bowl. The only person who's ever beaten them in the postseason are from their conference are Joe Burrow and Tom Brady. That's it. In the playoffs. That's it. Every other time they win, They added Josh Simmons, who's killing it in camp, according to the folks that you hear down there. And we'll get some perspective on that in a second. They're going to get Hollywood Brown comes back. They got good news today on Rashae Rice. He's at least going to be there through the first month. Is going to be what that's going to be. Year 2 is Xavier Worthy. Like, I don't know. I just look at this and go, are we sure this isn't the best team in the AFC still?
It does feel to me on par with the Lincoln Kienholz is a great athlete argument. It's like, yeah. Well, so what are we talking about? Like, yes. Chiefs the best team in the AFC. Yes. Yeah. And we're walking.
They have...
great.
They are. That's just... Yeah,
water's
everybody
wet.
wants to go to Buffalo and they want to go to the Ravens, and we all know the pressure that they're under, but it's like, go beat these guys.
They have the best head coach in the game. They have the best quarterback in the game. And I think we'll all agree those are the most 2 important positions in football, the way football is played right now. Mm-hmm. But yet we keep doubting them, it seems like, and we keep underestimating them, as you said, Bo, if that's possible.
Yeah, and look, I get it. Like, people are sick of them. Okay, that's I understand why you. Right, I get it. I know
the Tom Brady, Nick Saban thing.
Yeah, people want something different, but I would also say, like, at this point, like, this is just because you're sick of them. Yeah, to your point, Reese, you got to beat them. Now, here's the other thing that's pretty amazing about them. They've won. They win the Super Bowl early, then they win again. They did so as they changed kind of who they were. They won a Super Bowl when they moved off of Tyreek Hill, and they became a much different team. If you go back to 2027, they go 14-3 that year. Mahomes threw for 5,200 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 picks, won the MVP. Then 2 years ago, it's down to 41-83. Last year, it went down to 39-28. Just 26 touchdowns, 11 picks. So he's only been a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception the last 2 years. But they're not asking him to. They changed the way they played. They kind of shifted from a pass-happy team to a team that ran it, a team that played good defense. And in the end, no one would ever bet against them. He wasn't even a Pro Bowler last year. Patrick Mahomes is not a Pro Bowler. But it's in there, and you got to beat him in the postseason. So... I look at them and it's going to be kind of the same thing. It's kind of the bit, right? You just pick the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl until they don't.
It's kind of crazy to me. He's been there since 2019, and the way they've redone and played defense, that Steve Spagnuolo's name doesn't come up more when teams are looking for head coaches.
I don't know that he wants it.
Yeah. I get the same sense with some other coaches that they're just great coordinators, and that's the ceiling.
And they also like their life, maybe.
Yeah, they're good with it.
Now you can make 7 figures, and you can just be in charge of the defense. You don't have to do all the other stuff. You're winning Super Bowls. Like, sometimes life's pretty good, and maybe that's what happened here. This is a loaded roster. Fantasy sleeper, Bake.
So I am not as big on their wide receiver talent as some. I really like Xavier Worthy, but I don't like Hollywood Brown and Rashae Rice. I just don't know, and what's going to happen with him after these first 4 games. Juju's had some moments with Mahomes and the Chiefs. I really like the acquisition of Robert Tonyan. He's a tight end who has had some good years in Green Bay as well. Watson is no longer there, and we know there's always been room for 2 tight ends. Even though Travis Kelce's the alpha dog, there's been some good reports on Robert Tonyan out of camp. I like him as a number 2 there.
Look, if you're in a PPR league and you need someone that could vulture a bunch of touchdowns this season, Kareem Hunt's your guy. If he stay healthy, why not?
Well, he could be a red zone guy for sure. I think Xavier Worthy is going to blow up. I think he is. And especially, Rashae Rice was ridiculous, but there could be a suspension coming from him at some point. I think Xavier Worthy is going to have a massive, massive year for them. I think they get back to it a little bit. Do they have the right quarterback?
No. Guy wasn't even a Pro Bowler last year. What a bum. What a bum, Patrick Mahomes.
The 6th best quarterback.
Coming into camp fat. Conference. Unbelievable.
Is he the answer to, like Simmons does this with the NBA, like NBA trade value rankings? Is he still the one nobody trades?
Yes.
Or everybody trades their guy for Mahomes still? He's been the answer to that for a long time.
I would say
is it 429?
3 teams in the AFC probably wouldn't. Ravens, Bills, Bengals. But everybody else, I think, would in a heartbeat.
I'd like to know if they would.
I think the question is the age, right? With 29. And listen, I love it, but Mahomes, I don't think anybody will say is Brady in the way he takes care of himself. I don't think he does it. I don't think he's. So I don't know if Mahomes is going to have a career where he's playing till he's 40. Now, I don't think he takes a ton of hits either. And he doesn't have a huge injury history, but I think that's the one thing where maybe somebody wouldn't give up because of the age.
I mean, he does hobble around a lot, and they have reported injuries to him. It feels like every year he's got something different that's been nagging him, but it really doesn't affect his play all that much.
The most games he's ever missed is 2 since he's been the starter.
Pretty durable.
Yeah. So he just doesn't. He plays. Coolest player ever for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think this is the right answer, but to me, I loved Christian Okoye growing up. That dude was like an offensive tackle playing tailback. He was awesome.
Talk about cool nicknames.
Yeah, Nigerian Nightmare. And you could argue he was every bit Bo Jackson on Super Tecmo. He was untackleable. You would just bounce off him in Super Tecmo.
I mean, their tight end just broke the internet yesterday, but their quarterback, we're going to look at Patrick Mahomes, and maybe you're doing it now and seeing the kind of Steph Curry effect on kids.
Yeah, that I can confirm. I mean, all of the no-look, the throwing off platforms, all the kids want to do that. The answer is Mahomes. I would say Kelsey, honorable mention, Okoye, honorable mention. Derek Thomas was a stud, absolute stud for them. Priest Holmes was really cool when he kind of had it. But I'm going to tell you what, I got to give a little bit of flowers to the Alliance, Ohio native, Len Dawson, for smoking down a heater in the middle of a Super Bowl and having it captured in one of the most iconic photos ever. So I'm going to give a little bit of love to the Ohio native there. What is this team this year, Bake?
Super Bowl contender.
Yep.
Certainly not 15-2. We talk about with the Lions.
Yeah.
It's so hard to win 15 games in an 18-week season. But, yeah, there should be no fall off for this team.
Yep. Go win the Super Bowl. That's how they'll be judged. That's the standard. Franchise grade for the Chiefs.
I think it probably should be an A. I've got it as a B+, but they're one of the best.
They're an A-. Just the consistency in the last 15 years. I think it's year 13 for Andy Reid. And so that really bolsters them, I think, into that category. 3 Super Bowls in my lifetime. And you're getting a new stadium here in a couple of years. I think it's the state of Missouri is going to give them a bunch of money. That helps.
I'm with you. I think it's about an A-. You could talk me into an A. They've been a model franchise the last decade plus, but they've been consistently good the whole time. I mean, they traded for Joe Montana when he became available 30-some years ago. So, like, they've always been in the mix. They have one of the most diehard fan bases you're ever going to see, and it's just a matter of now they have that success that goes along with it. So, yeah, I think it's A-. Getting close to an A, though. Very, very close. Get some perspective on the division and the Kansas City Chiefs. Josh Klingler going to join us coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
The trash talk, the bad trade requests, the horrible reaches on draft picks. It's fantasy football time, and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus is giving you a chance to hold your fantasy draft in a fantasy location. On August 24th, host your fantasy draft party at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook, which will include a $100 dining credit, draft board, and swag. Visit 971thefan.com and sign up for your fantasy draft party package. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER for help.
Swimming in debt? Save your summer with a debt consolidation loan from BMI Federal Credit Union. With rates as low as 8.99% APR, now is the perfect time to consolidate your debt. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate for more details.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems in Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, let's get some perspective on the Kansas City Chiefs and the AFC West. We had it on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Josh Klingler joining us, sideline reporter for the Kansas City Chiefs radio network. Josh, thank you so much for taking the time. I should probably start by apologizing. I understand that you worked for Fish and with Timmy Hall. I currently live in that world, and God bless you. It's brutal. Thank God you got out of it.
No, those two are two of the best. I love those guys. I was going to say hello, but your producer preemptively said hello the reverse. So yes, I know a couple of your guys very well.
Good dudes, both. I'm looking at this thing. I'm looking at a team that went 15-2, and we just kind of talked about them from a 30,000 feet perspective. And I'm going like, is it possible to be 15-2, win 3 Super Bowl championships, and kind of being slept on? But that kind of feels like what Kansas City is this year. All this talk about Buffalo and the Ravens and all of this, and I look at this team and I go, well, somebody's got to beat these guys before we talk about anybody else.
Yeah, it's great because you just figure at some point you're going to have to manufacture a chip on the shoulder. And somehow, some way, the media finds a way to do it every year to them coming in. The Chargers are the darling every year. Like every single year, people are bending over backwards to pick the Chargers. And, it just fires up these guys. I mean, they have a bad taste in their mouths, the ones that played in the Super Bowl last year. And I think that they, take those things personally. Granted, yes, it's been a charmed life where it's been, appearance after appearance, but it's kind of what have you done lately? And for guys like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, they're 3 stalwart leaders. We don't like how last year happened. No one's picking us. Let's go. And it's amazing they continue to get kind of fuel thrown at them when at some point in time you feel like people would just kind of just leave it alone and let it happen if it did happen, right? Someday they're not going to win the division, and someday they're not going to advance as far in the postseason, but they've done a miraculous job of kind of backfilling, taking care of guys that are their core guys, backfilling, doing well in the draft. It looks like they've got another really solid draft. And so, there's really no reason to pick against them other than to want to be first, I think, when it eventually does happen.
Yeah, it's like out of boredom, kind of, right? Like, we can't pick these guys again. So. Let's pick. It's a little bit of that.
Yeah, because, I think there's, I get it. When teams are at the top, it does get kind of boring to look at them again. But, their front office has done a really good job of making sure that, it's not a rebuild. Granted, you're on another kind of cycle, and we kind of continue to discuss kind of those 3 and 5 year windows where people kind of roll over in the NFL. They've just kind of just plug a guy in here, make sure they draft the next guy. They've just done a really, really nice job of building an entire roster, taking care of their finances certainly, but building an entire roster where they're just kind of plugging people in year in and year out. They may have found, their next left tackle. Josh Simmons slides all the way to them at 32, and he has been, 1, ahead of schedule in his injury rehab, and 2, they've just kind of let him go. And if that spot works, if that pick works, the rest of the league's going, are you kidding me? Now they found their left tackle too? What can't they do? So they've done a lot of things, obviously winning football games on the field, but the stuff they do behind the scenes and their personnel people have been, pretty good over the last few years.
Yeah, they've done it in different ways too. They were this, this high flying, spin it all over the place, Tyreek Hill, and they won a Super Bowl that way, and then they make the trade, and then they win a Super Bowl the other way. The last couple of years, Mahomes statistically has come back to the pack. Last year, at age 29, wasn't even a Pro Bowler, which it just seems hard to wrap your head around. But 39, 28, 26, and 11. What and much down in terms of yards per game in terms of the pass as they kind of adjusted to a different team. Oh, but by the way, he went 15-1 as the starting quarterback, so there's that. That's kind of the stat that matters most. But what do you think their approach will be this season? Because I do think it's probably fair to say they've been looking for that number one threat since Tyreek left, and they've tried a bunch of different guys. And Rashee Rice looks good when he plays, but you could have something happening there as well. What do you think ideally it looks like this year offensively for Kansas City?
Well, I mean, they have adjusted in the last couple of years to teams taking away the downfield threat and finding that next downfield threat. I mean, Tyreek Hill, didn't walk out the door a washed-up wide receiver, and they knew that, right? So that this was trading away a guy that was still very, very good in this offense. So, yes, they've probably been trying to find that guy, but those are kind of few and far between. I think they would like to push the ball down the field more. I mean, they have discussed that. And the ability to do so, probably more so with Xavier Worthy, but they believe that they can get some others in that mold will help. They get a little bit antsy at times offensively. I mean, they want to be a little more high-flying than they've been. They've been patient enough to play other ways. But I think if in their heart of hearts, could they bomb the ball down the field a little bit more, run Travis Kelce underneath, dip it off to the running back on screen plays, and just hammer people? Yes, that's the way they would love to do it. They haven't quite had the personnel to do that. It remains to be seen, how the wide receiver room looks to be able to do it. You mentioned the Rashee Rice situation, which continues to get almost more and more bizarre by the day. Why there's not resolution at this point in time is baffling to me. And if they pull a mid-season suspension, that's just so strange. I mean, in my opinion, get it done before the season and get things wrapped up. They've had plenty of time to do this, but, there are lawyers, so you never know. So if he's, plays then doesn't play, that factors in. Hollywood Brown has been suffering the seemingly annual Hollywood Brown injury. He won't be ready until at least opening day. Xavier Worthy is only in year 2, so how much are you going to continue to heap on his plate? So you might not have a full picture of this until maybe the latter, portion of the season, which for the Chiefs' perspective, that's when they seemingly do kind of put things together. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for them, but by December, they seem to be a team that's usually rolling. But, they have the potential to be very, very deep in the wide receiver room. But it's just a matter of, okay, are you going to have all the pieces there at any particular point in time? Travis Kelce looks like a guy that has kind of reinvented himself again. I think he kind of heard you're getting a little bit older, a little bit slower, and a little bit down, and has come back with, kind of a new build and looks very, very fresh. And I think they're going to do some smarter things to try to take away maybe some of his play count and kind of preserve him along the way. But they want to be a high-flying offense. It'll be interesting to see if they get enough of the parts. They have a lot of parts, though. Don't get me wrong. There are teams that are probably really would love to have the pseudo question marks the Chiefs have with a rookie left tackle and a whole bunch of wide receivers. It's just, can you get 3 of them on the field at the same time, or you're only going to have 2? I mean, it's again penthouse problems at times.
Yeah, that's all first world stuff. And this Simmons, I mean, we loved Simmons. He just is a stud, and I'm curious. You kind of gave us a little hint, but it seems like he's showing out a little bit in camp.
It's kind of amazing because when they drafted him, obviously he was injured and he was going to face a rehab, and they didn't sweat that because I think it was a feel you're drafting at the bottom of the first round. You can kind of take some swings at times in that spot. Take a guy you like. Frankly, had he been like a red shirt this year, I probably would have been like, okay, fine. You got a guy that might pay off next season. We get towards kind of the tail end of, right before minicamp, and Coach Reed says, he's coming along, and, we hope to have him out there by training camp. A few days later, he goes, well, he's really coming along. We hope to have him out there a couple days at minicamp. and then the timetable kept getting closer and closer, and by the start of camp, he was like 100%, and they just put him in at left tackle, and they have not rotated him since. And so he's going to get every opportunity to win that job. Granted, he's played very few snaps against in game situations. He barely played in the first preseason game, but, they've rotated some other spots along the line, primarily a little bit at right tackle. They brought in a guy that conceivably could play either right or left tackle. And basically he's been slotted to, okay, you figure out your rotation over here because Josh Simmons is going to get every opportunity at the left tackle spot. It's pretty amazing as a rookie, but, they're going to let him go, and it's his job to lose.
It's a lottery ticket. I mean, to land a left tackle potentially in that spot, it's an absolute lottery ticket.
Yeah.
You see these teams every day, and obviously boots on the ground in Kansas City. How do you see this division? I'll get you out of here on this one, Josh. Greatly appreciate your time. How do you see this division pecking order heading into this season?
Well, I mean, I still think the division's good, but they're all chasing the Chiefs. I mean, I think everybody's done some smart things to try to counteract and to try to build. Certainly the Chargers have had the kind of the best personnel and I think the best overall system. Have they had kind of the later season success? Not necessarily. The Raiders, we'll see, and I think we say that every year. I mean, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Pete Carroll. I don't know if they have a quarterback situation necessarily nailed down. The Broncos, I think last year I thought you kind of saw it. You're like, okay, that's a team that looks like maybe they got a quarterback that they can build behind, and they're kind of on the build as well. So I think it's a team that or a division, I should say, that's going to have some contenders to get a few into the postseason. I still think it's the Chiefs division until further notice, but if you get certainly a second team, if not a third team in the postseason, I would not be surprised, because I think this division, hey, the pressure's on them every year, right? I mean, they see the Chiefs, they're trying to catch the Chiefs, and I think everybody's not in a panicked way, but I think it speeds up everybody's sense of urgency to try to reel them in a little bit. So I think the division's done their best to try to do that, and I don't think anybody's taken any kind of gross missteps along the way in doing it. Everybody's kind of built patiently. It's just they haven't caught him just yet.
Josh, great stuff, man. Thank you so much for the time. Greatly appreciate you giving us a little bit of it today.
You bet.
All right, there he goes, Josh Klingler, sideline reporter at Kansas City Chiefs on the radio network there, joining on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, time for three things on a Thursday. Up next, Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Ready. This Ohio State football training camp report is brought to you locally on the Fan by Weber Grills.
Ohio State football training camp report.
This report is brought to you statewide by Safelite Auto Glass and Bob's Discount Furniture. Well, Sonny Styles and Arvero Reese are the known commodities for Ohio State at linebacker, but their position coach, James Laurinaitis, talks about what Peyton Pierce, who was a backup last year, brings to the group this year.
You just feel him every single practice. Like, he is downhill. You can sense that wrestling background. That's why I loved it when we recruited him. I first developed my relationship with Peyton when I was at Notre Dame, trying to get him to go there. And then when I came over here, it was like one of the first phone calls I made was to Peyton, and to make sure that we were kind of getting on that recruiting train. And then we ended up getting him. He's downhill. He's physical. He has this tough guy leadership qualities that's similar to Tommy. And it's just like, when that ball is run between the tackles, that he's going to go down there and just, like, you'd be surprised if he got through a practice without chips off of his face mask, and obviously that's the way that I think the LB position should be played.
That's a reference to Tommy Eichenberg. We'll have more after this.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, flexible financing to fit your budget, and fast, friendly delivery. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com. Oh, my Bob! Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Well, we've already identified some that are known contributors to the linebacker position going into the coming season. Position coach James Laurinaitis talks about a young player, Riley Pettijohn, who's worth keeping an eye on.
I think Riley has proven, obviously getting your black stripe off is a big deal, but Riley has shown really a tremendous growth, even from the spring. Like, you saw the traits and stuff, but just mentally, I think he's studying better. I think he's starting to kind of get a feel for how things are done, at this level. And he's got a really strong fall camp. Still some mental things he's got to improve on. He's young. You have to take that in consideration, being a true freshman. But I expect, to see Riley on the field in some form or fashion, whether it's special teams or whatever it is, week one.
Season opener August 30th against Texas. We'll have another report tomorrow. This is Paul Keels on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
We've had an incredible year, Buckeyes fans. It's time to celebrate the offseason with warmer weather, long nights, and incredible grilled food. Weber Grills has everything you need to have a winning summer. From our newest line of Spirit gas grills to our award-winning Searwood wood pellet and slate griddle grill, Weber Grills is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn more at Weber.com.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
I just saw this in the last hour. Men in Blazers, popular soccer podcast, is going to be here in town. Clint Dempsey, Roger Bennett, who's a longtime host. He's great. USA Match Day Eve, a celebration of Columbus, America's soccer true fortress. September 8th at Kemba Live. So that's very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Good stuff. What do you have in the poll today, Reese?
The Daily Fan Poll asks, are you looking forward to next Saturday's Week 0 college football slate? 58% of you say yes, can't wait. 42% say wake me up for Week 1.
Look, you're more excited for it because it's your first taste of it. And so you eat something you otherwise wouldn't, like K-State and Iowa State, because you're starving. So yeah, I'll have it on. We'll be watching. That feels like a lock to me that I'll watch a little bit of that one. All right, time for 3 things on a Thursday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number 1 for me. So my wife yesterday decided that, because our weekend is pretty jammed up, and so she wanted to have like a last meal of the summer for the family. So I said, well, where do you want to go? And she's told me, and no names please, but it is it's an upscale furniture store. And I said, well, why are we going to an upscale furniture store to eat? And she said, well, they have a great restaurant on the roof. And I said, come again? And sure enough. So we go into this place. You got to walk up to the 3rd floor. Really good food. Really coolly decorated. But the whole time coming out, I'm just looking at Bootsy, who is sucking down his meal and probably has everything from cocktail sauce and every sort of sticky thing on him. And he's wanting to jump on furniture. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, who dreamt this up? I mean, when I was a kid, you could, like, Kmart had like a restaurant in it, and I think Nordstrom still has a restaurant in it, but this used to be something that used to be kind of regular. I'm like, who dreamt this up to, like, get us to walk through 3 levels of high-end furniture to have a nice meal? Now, the meal was great, the experience was cool, but it defied logic that it existed. I had no idea.
Yeah, they have one of those over at Easton in Columbus.
There you go. That's it. That's the one I was at.
Okay. Yeah. It's nice. You know, $13 bacon, but bacon is pretty good. First thing for me, there was a an interview that Kristaps Porzingis did with his with an outlet in his native country of Latvia. Now he's with the Atlanta Hawks. The NBA's, they're releasing all their schedules today, so you're going to get a flurry of National Basketball Association content on your timeline. But Porzingis says once his career's done, and that could be sooner rather than later, he'd like to get into mixed martial arts, which is bold considering his injury history.
And that he's 7'4".
Well, that too.
Tough to defend a takedown.
Yeah.
I think when your legs
is he
are
gonna
that long.
do it? Yeah. Is he going to shoot the leg? It's a long way to go.
We earlier were talking about documentaries and what sports documentary here in Columbus we would want to see. Well, I saw this during the show. Barstool tweeted this out. There is a Charlie Sheen documentary set to drop on Netflix. It's going to be released on September 10th, and Charlie Sheen says there's nothing off limits. Everything is good. If this is truly an honest documentary, I cannot wait for this one.
It's got all the pieces.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah. It's got all of it. Number 2 for me. So today is the birthday of Magic Johnson, who was my favorite athlete as a kid by a pretty wide margin. But it is also the birthday of Halle Berry. That's a lot of greatness on August 14th. That is a ton. And Magic provided me a lot of joy as a kid. I probably have seen, oh my gosh, I've seen Boomerang, I bet 1,000 times. And every time it defies logic that they tried to make Halle Berry frumpy. But they did.
One of Ohio's finest, Halle Berry.
I was just about to say, Cleveland's finest.
Might be Ohio's finest. That might be the answer to that.
I remember when she was the vixen in the Flintstones movie. Very young Eric was
the vixen. I like
enthralled by Halle Berry during that, and only forever because she's aged very, very well. If you're looking for something to do tonight, Yogi's in Grandview is going to be holding a live 2-hour Buckeye show. Brandon Beam and Pat Murphy will be holding court from 6 to 8.
Second thing for me, Brooks Cabina, who covers the Eagles for The Athletic, put this one out, a little picture from practice, after practice between the Browns and the Eagles. Landon Dickerson, who is not playing right now because he has been injured, just brought a cooler full of Miller Lights out for the Eagles and the Browns offensive linemen to enjoy after practice. Nice, refreshing, cold pop. Nothing like that. I love seeing that. There should be more of that in sports.
This was going to be my third, and it's the appropriate one. Folks, you just have it's the perfect visual illustration of what playing offensive line in the NFL is. It's its own little club. They're like on their own little island. They're in their own group. They seem to have the most fun ever. Like, the most. They get along off field, on field. Their families are tight. I don't know what it is, but it is such a brotherhood, and it goes across teams. So to see Joel Bitonio and Wyatt Teller sucking down Miller Lights after a practice, if that don't bring a smile to your face, I don't know what will. That was awesome.
Final thing for me, the Milwaukee Brewers are probably baseball's hottest team. I think they're going to be in Cincinnati this weekend.
Till tomorrow.
To play the Reds starting on Friday. They won last night 12-5, beating the Pirates. They are extending their winning streak to 12 games. So local Milwaukee restaurant chain George Webb says free burgers if they win 17 consecutive games. For decades, that was the thing. And then they dropped it to 13 games, and now it's 12. So if you're in the Milwaukee area, go to George Webb because free burgers for all.
Aren't they something like 27-4?
That's what their last, what would it be, 31 games?
31 games.
Yeah.
They're 27. Wolfman Matt passed that.
It's bonkers how hot this team is, but running into the Reds on Friday.
Bad job out of me for not having the stat on this either, but the last two teams are the only other two teams to have two different 11-game-plus winning streaks in a Major League Baseball season. Both won the World Series, so it's good news for Milwaukee fans. Final thing for me, it is a DeVere day on Rothman and Ice. He's in for AR. Stephen Means will stop by to talk some Buckeyes, and Adam King Dumb, coming up as well.
How do you spell that part, the last part?
D-U-M-B.
Fish letting me know, also Brother Bone's birthday today. Magic Johnson, Halle Berry, Brother Bone. That's getting it done, Ohio. That's a great job. We're going to claim Magic Johnson, too, even though he's from Lansing. Rothman and Ice up next. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip, and I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I've got a public service announcement for your taste buds. The legendary Sanders Bumpy Cake is finally here in Ohio. Yes, that Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. Rich devil's food cake topped with smooth buttercream bumps and smothered in thick chocolatey fudge. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It's the dessert you didn't know you needed until now. Perfect for your next barbecue, tailgate, or a family function. And if you've never had one of these, well, trust me, once you try it, you're going to be hooked. Grab your Sanders Bumpy Cake today at Kroger or Meijer and taste what the hype's all about.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym, but don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to gnc.com.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without having to take your time? You thought to yourself, I'll just tough it out. But nothing changes. Hi, it's Tyvis Powell. It's time to call and schedule that free consultation with Dr. Walkoff and his team at QC Kinetics here in Columbus. I'm glad I did. Myself and others have turned around their lives with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies. No scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. Check it out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. Bring your x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat and thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.